Our thanks go to sponsors and partners without whom this event would not be possible. Funding partner, Sport England. Official partner, Tier. Endorsed product, Sports Systems. Host city, marketing Sheffield and Sheffield International venues.
A very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome along to Sheffield for the third and final day of this Swim England National Winter Championships 2018. The festive spirit is definitely in the air for these swimmers. They cannot wait to make it to Christmas, that long last push until something of a Christmas holiday. It is intense training right now in the world of swimming, but this event is something of a proving ground for some of the very best and for some of the very best youngsters in the country. Really looking forward to seeing them go on our final night tonight. Very warm welcome to Ponds Forge, live inside the pool with myself, Stephen Jameson, and three-time Olympian alongside me, James Goddard. James, first of all, a very good afternoon. Day number 3. We've seen 2 fantastic days of competition. We're hoping day 3 is going to follow suit.
Yeah, I think, we've seen records all over the place. I mean, it's just the proof has been in the pudding, in the Christmas pudding maybe. We've seen British junior records, we've seen British senior records, we've seen world junior records as well. Some fantastic swimming. I think today maybe it was a little bit, the mood was maybe a little bit down, a little bit more relaxed. In the heats, everyone seemed to be taking it a little bit more chilled, but I think tonight, they were doing that for tonight. They're going to smash it up, and we're going to see some fast swimming again. Yeah, pretty much the last racing of the calendar year tonight for all the swimmers who are here. Plenty coming up for you as well. If we can just take a look at the schedule, we've got loads on the way for you. We kick off with Challenge 68. More on that in a little moment. But after that, we've got the women's 400 IM. Abbie Wood looked stellar in that event this morning and goes in as the hot favourite. Men's 400 IM then follows, and likewise Abbie Wood, read Max Litchfield. He is chasing under 4 minutes to break his personal best and set a really, really good nation-leading time. Women's 50 fly will then see the Olympic 100-metre freestyle champion Penny Oleksiak take on our sprint queen Anna Hopkin. Men's 50 fly then sees Sam Horrocks face off against Brian O'Sullivan and Eduardo Valsecchi. We've then got a great women's 200 free final as well. Yeah, it's going to be great. It looks like a 3-way battle between Holly Hibbert, Kayla Sanchez and Marie Wattel. Marie Wattel a bit more of a butterfly specialist. Holly Hibbert likes that 400, but I know she trains for that 200 as well. Kayla Sanchez has been on fire all weekend. I think she's going to be the one to beat. Can our English girls, British girls, challenge the Canadian? Well, we're about to find out tonight. Men's 200 free, we'll see a battle of the Irish, really. Jordan Sloan and Jack McMillan, both from Bangor in Ireland, 2 international swimmers. No James Guy in this one. He and James Wilby have had to withdraw from their finals tonight as they're too busy heading to Birmingham for BBC Sports Personality of the Year. Fair enough, really. It's okay for some, isn't it? Yeah, we've got to let them off for that one, really. We'll then see the women's 100 back and the men's 100 back. Swimmers to look out for there, Jess Fullalove and Luke Greenbank in particular. Thomas Howdall is going to take on Luke Greenbank. We think pretty close, but we'll wait, obviously, to see how it goes. Katie Matz and Kierra Smith will then go head-to-head in the women's 200-metre breaststroke, England versus Canada in that one. And then our final event of the individual races is the men's 200 breaststroke, Edward Baxter against Adam Chillingworth. No James Wilby, as we mentioned. We then end with 2 fantastic relays and the Challenge 68 final. So there we go, that's what we've got to look forward to tonight. Now, we sort of previewed this yesterday, James. It's time to talk about Challenge 68. This is something we are hugely excited about. This is a challenge with a real difference. It is something different, and there is prize money up for grabs as well. We're going to have 2 heats tonight to kick us off, and the top swims, the fastest through, will go to do a final right at the end. The winners of each heat will get £140 each. They'll get this nice check, so some extra incentive as well. So basically, the Challenge 68, the 68 means that the 4 swimmers, their ages can't go over 68 years old. So that's an average age of 17 years old. My maths is maybe a little bit off. 17 years old. So most teams will be relatively young, okay? So the first swimmer will always swim backstroke, all right? But before we start the relays, we'll go down to Laura on the pool side. She'll have a box, and in that box, she'll have butterfly, breaststroke, and freestyle. Now, she'll draw these cards out in order, and we'll find out what the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th swimmer in those relays will swim. It could be anything, any stroke. Totally random, so we could have a freestyle swimmer and they might get breaststroke for their leg. Yeah, the key thing is the swimmers can't change their order. They are set in stone. We've got the start sheets in front of us. The swim teams cannot change their relay order, which is what makes this so interesting. We really do not know what to expect. Not only because we've never seen this event before, but because this event encourages the unexpected. That's the only thing we can really look forward to. Yep. Expect the unexpected with Challenge 68. It should be a really, really, really competitive race. And Jimmy, we so often see, swimmers swimming for medals, for pride, for so many different things, but
I mean, I know you've done this in the past yourself, but when there's a little bit of financial incentive, particularly around this time of year, you know, there's a little bit more on the line, isn't there?
Yeah, if you can win at least a heat, that's your mum's Christmas present sorted, right? Done and dusted. Yeah, a little bit of extra incentive, absolutely. And it's a bit of fun as well. And we've already talked about the relays this week, how it's a great team event. It lifts the crowd. You can see them hugging at the end. This is something extra, just like that, with a little bit of money as well.
Yeah, it really, really should be incredible. And it could throw up some real challenges for the swimmers as well. So much that you can't really tactically plan for it. It's interesting, we've seen, they only know they've got to select a backstroker first. If they gamble and put their best freestyler last, maybe to try and speed it home, but he's not very good or she's not very good on breaststroke, but breaststroke gets drawn, then that's a huge gamble, isn't it?
I've had a little look in the programme. It looks like most of the teams have set it up as if it's a medley relay. So they've put the backstroker obviously first, because that's a guarantee. You know, for safety reasons, we have to do backstroke to start in the water. We can't dive and turn on our backs and do backstroke. So backstroker's in, then it looks like they've put the breaststroker next, then butterfly, and then freestyle. But, you know, breaststroke could be the fourth card or the third card that's drawn for the fourth swimmer.
We could, in theory, have 3 breaststrokes.
We could, yeah. There's 9 cards that go into the box. So there's 3 butterfly, 3 breaststroke, and 3 freestyle. So we could get breaststroke. So it could be backstroke for the first person, second person breaststroke, third person breaststroke, fourth person breaststroke as well. So it could be absolute madness.
Yeah, our roving reporter down on poolside, Laura Winter, is prepared to draw those towards the start of the session. We've just seen our officials down behind us be introduced to the crowd, and it's good on the Sunday that we've got a little bit of spice to add to it, because as you mentioned, it has been it was certainly a sleepy morning, everyone slowly rising and getting to grips with another day. It's been a really intense competition, this. Yes. We mentioned more swimmers at this event than ever before, but they shrunk the days down, so the sessions have been long, they've been intense, but I think that's what the swimmers are used to, especially this time of year.
Yeah, you could really see it through day one, the Friday was day one, you could see the swimmers hitting the heats, hitting the final. Day 2, they were hitting the heat still and hitting the final, but today, you know, when that tiredness is setting in, because it's been a busy schedule for a lot of the swimmers, their legs might start to be a little tired, you could see a little bit more tactics in the heats this morning. You know, a lot of swimmers are going out hard, but then relaxing down there that second half, just to save that little bit extra for the final tonight. So we should see some fireworks tonight as well. Yeah,
we really should. Let's take a little look at the individuals who are expecting to shine tonight. A couple that stand out immediately, the first 2 individuals, Abbie Wood and Max Litchfield. 2 incredible medley swimmers. And I know you were saying just off air to me before, 2 swimmers who actually know each other really well.
Yeah, I've literally just bumped into Abbie Wood's parents in the foyer, and they let me know that, and I didn't know this, that Abbie Wood is training with Max Litchfield and Joe Litchfield. And they put that down to why Abbie Wood is swimming so well right now, which is fantastic. And they were saying that Abbie sometimes struggles because Max Litchfield does not miss a single metre in training. They made a big point of this.
Doesn't surprise you, does it?
Well, because no. I mean, I'm absolutely. You can see that. You can see that when he swims his races. But yeah, fantastic, great IM pedigree. They train together, so hopefully they'll light it up in the pool tonight as well.
Well, it should be brilliant, those individual races, but before that, we've got the Challenge 68. The teams are making their way out now, lanes 1 to 8. They are so excited, and they have no idea what's going to happen until Laura Winter lets them know.
Swim England relay format, and I can tell you right now it is going to be suitably bonkers. Typically, of course, a medley relay order: backstroke, breaststroke, fly, freestyle. Simple. We're ripping up the rule book. It's all different. Backstroke will be leg 1, but we're about to do the order all new right now. So leg number 2 will be breaststroke. Leg number 3, let's see what it is. It's freestyle. You can hear swimmer groans in the background because they've decided their orders, remember? And the final leg, once again, it's breaststroke. What will that do to the swimmers? Let's take a look now to the starters with heat number 1.
Wow. Well, we said, didn't we, expect the unexpected. That is certainly not expected for our swimmers. You heard the groans down on the poolside. We cannot wait for this one. Absolutely no idea what's going to happen. The man who's going to tell you is our race commentator as we hand over for the first time tonight. A very good evening to Jonathan Bell.
Thank you, Stephen. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Ponds Forge for a little bit of history here. The manic nature we expect of the Challenge 68, and I have to say, as those strokes were being pulled out of the box there, it was fantastic to see some of the reactions down at the other end on the blocks. And James Goddard's just joining me now. I mean, anything could happen here. And the interesting thing you were saying in the studio, James, is the fact that you think they'll have lined up like a usual medley race. So those that may have expected freestyle on the last leg, or certainly hope for it, they've got breaststroke.
Yeah, they've got breaststroke. Something we didn't mention, that there's 2 males and 2 females. They have to put 2 of each sex into this relay. So that's why you might see some of the men going first and leading the way. These breaststroke, the pink hats represent breaststroke. So they're not all swimming for the same swimming club, but they've got the pink hats on that represent the breaststroke. So, and you can see the girl in lane number 2 really not feeling this breaststroke.
Yeah, that's Sophie Yendall. Meanwhile, out at the front, we have Mount Kelly B, and that was fantastic stuff there from Ben Harrison. Past the halfway point, we're onto the blue caps now. They're on the freestyle. This maybe will suit some of the swimmers a little bit more. And Mount Kelly trying to extend this lead with Emily Hames now. The rest of the pool, they've all really bunched up, and we're going to have to try and have a look here as to exactly who's pulling away. You can see in lane 4 that it's now Hamilton and Richard Kozabayev who has put in a good shift for them. But now we're onto the breaststroke, the final leg, and this really could throw up some surprises.
Oh, somebody's doing freestyle. He's got it completely wrong, so that'll be a disqualification probably for the swimmer in lane number 6. He's had an absolute shocker there.
Yeah, I think it's Adam Davies in lane 5 for Plymouth Leander B.
Lane 5, apologies, lane 5, yeah.
Wasn't all going to be perfect, was it, this? And
no.
Coming in now towards the wall then, out of the legitimate swims, it's going to be Mount Kelly B. They're going to win it fairly. In they come at 154.34. They have got the cash in the bank, the £140, and surely a slot in tonight's final as well.
Yep.
We knew it'd be manic, James, and there was always going to be someone, wasn't there, who couldn't quite get the rule book sorted out.
Yeah, this is it. This is what happens. The Plymouth Leander swimmer has done freestyle instead of breaststroke. That will get him and his team disqualified, I'm afraid. There it is confirmed. There's the DQ. So not only does it mix things up, and look at how happy these Mount Kelly swimmers are. They are absolutely buzzing. They get to come up here, get in front of the camera, receive this check, and they will be in the final. Yeah, there we are. Look at this. This is what £140 does. £140 does this. Look at him. Christmas come early.
Well, not only that for Mount Kelly B, let's not forget they've got a Mount Kelly A team coming up in the second race, so they could do the double.
You know what, we've been speaking about Mount Kelly all week. Fantastic, they deserve this.
Well, can now cross back over to Laura, who of course ensued all that chaos in the first place by picking the strokes out of that box, and she's now going to speak to the victorious team in that first heat there, Mount Kelly B, in the Challenge 68 competition. The first ever winners, of course, of that competition, and we'll wait and find out who can join them in getting that title in the second heat very shortly. But for now, Mount Kelly B talking on poolside to Laura Winter.
We promised you absolutely bonkers action. That's exactly what we delivered. I think we had 2 DQs in that one, but I've got some very happy heat winners here. Mount Kelly, not only bragging rights, not only the win in the heats here, they've also won themselves 140 quid. Let's get back to the action in heat number 2.
Yes. Heat 2.
So there we have it then. That was heat 1, and heat 2 about to come up as well. There's certainly a lot to live up to after that. I think the good thing about being in heat 2, James, is the fact that some of those teams will have looked on here and seen 3 teams DQ'd and know what to learn from.
Brilliant. Yeah, absolutely. They'll be saying to each other, make sure you know what stroke you're doing. I can just imagine what they're saying behind the blocks. You're doing breaststroke, you're doing breaststroke, you're doing breaststroke. Yeah, fantastic to see. I love these sorts of events, and look at how much it means to these swimmers. Look at how buzzing they are for it.
Well, you've seen how it works, and I've got Liliana here next to me who was helping me out here today. That was bonkers. I reckon heat 2 is going to be just about as crazy. Let's see, leg 2, freestyle. Leg 2 will be freestyle. Not sure how the swimmers are feeling about that one. Let's take a look. Leg number 3 is breaststroke. Leg number 3, breaststroke. We've got celebrations and cheers going on down there. Leg 4, oh my goodness me, it's breaststroke again. This is going to be brilliant. Heat 2 underway, let's go.
Well, I think they've gone from ecstasy to agony, some of those swimmers on the back two legs. Those that were expecting breaststroke had set themselves up in third position. They think they'd got it spot on, but then the fourth leg's breaststroke again as well. Yeah, this is the beauty of this format, is that you can just hear every time breaststroke gets pulled out, half of them go yes, and then half of them go oh no, because it is one of those strokes where you're either good at it or you're not. But that's just the way the cookie crumbles. White hat for the backstrokers. Backstrokers have got it quite easy, actually, haven't they? And there's just no danger. You know you've got your best stroke. Almost, in a way, a bit more pressure on them to really assert their dominance at the start of this one, because they're the ones really that should know what they're doing. Yeah, well, maybe. Nah, I mean, they won't feel they'll be happy. This is their element. This is this is what they train for. This is what they live for. They're sprint backstroke specialists. No problem. It's if you're something like a distance freestyle and you've got to do a sprint breaststroke race, that's when there's might be trouble. Well, Richmond's done very well there for Northampton, and Betsy Wizard now in the pool for them. She's a cracking young swimmer, 15 years of age, and of course the average age out of all these swimmers 17 years, and when you can call upon someone like Betsy Wizard, they've got Edward Mildred on the anchor as well, that's 30 years, so they've got two swimmers in there possibly that can be almost 20 to go with them. So Northampton expect to be up there at the end of it, but that's a good turnaround from Mount Kelly and Alexandra Bissau. Yeah, onto the breaststroke leg. We've got two breaststroke legs in a row now. And we can see the Mount Kelly swimmer, perhaps not the best breaststroke swimmer. She might have been one of the ones that was groaning really loud. Oh no, breaststroke. And you can see she's certainly not a breaststroke swimmer. I do apologise, but that's just the way it is. Good swimming coming out of Hamilton Aquatics. Sometimes it's hard to recognise some of the teams because you're used to seeing the hat colours. But of course, they've all got the blues on for breaststroke. I think those blue hats are for the third swimmer, and these dark hats are for the fourth swimmer. Yeah, on the breaststroke once again then to finish us off, and who can get the dart home this time? It's not really the relentless sprint finish you get in a relay. Who are the strong ones here? You can see the emergence coming in lane 6 from Northampton, and also City of Milton Keynes as well. They can sniff the cash coming in towards the wall. Is it going to be theirs? It is. City of Milton Keynes 1:54.72. Now, of course, in this event, we have to really make sure we get these times ratified and checked, because there could be a couple of DQs in there. But delight for City of Milton Keynes, touching in 1:54.72. It's Ayana Lawson who brought it home and looks absolutely delighted with that. What a turnaround in the last 25. £140 in the bank. Milton Keynes, once we get that ratified, once we get that cleared, because we've had a few disqualifications already. Let's just make sure that they've won it. Don't sell it. Well, we've had a DQ again, you see. There we are, Devonport A. Unfortunately, you've been disqualified. Was that right? Yes, there we are, Devonport A disqualified. City Milton Keynes then taking the £140, booking their place in the final at the end of this final session. Well, the irony is it's 0.14 seconds that separates City of Milton Keynes and Northampton, and each of those 14 hundredths of a second worth a tenner each. Absolutely. Good maths, quick maths that. Brilliant. I love this sort of stuff. I kind of wish they had it more in world swimming, especially these cash events as well. It just adds a bit of extra, extra oomph to the competition, doesn't it? I mean, it's great getting the medals and getting your trophies and stuff, but cash in the bank is always quite nice as well. And look at these guys, will get what's my maths? £35 each. That's a Christmas present. That's their brothers or sisters' Christmas present right there. Well, big congratulations to them. And we can now hear downstairs from City of Milton Keynes. They are on poolside with Laura, winners of Heat 2.
Absolutely nuts. We are loving Challenge 68, and congratulations to the winners of Heat 2, the City of Milton Keynes. Not just the win, not just a place in the final either, but 140 quid and the chance to win a bit more money in the final later on. We're going to head straight back to the rest of the action for the evening finals here on day 3 of the Swim England National Winter Championships. We'll be back with the finals a little bit later on.
Well, goodness gracious me. Where on earth to start? That was absolutely crazy. James, have you ever seen anything like that in this pool before?
I've never seen so many disqualifications in my life. To be honest, I was getting quite confused up here as well. I was like, who's going where? Because we've got what we forgot to mention at the start was we have to have 2 males and 2 females in there as well. So you might see some lad backstrokers going against some girl backstrokers, and then people getting the wrong stroke. We saw in the first heat, Devonport A.
Poor guy from Plymouth doing freestyle on the anchor.
He's going to get ripped for that from his teammates for years
to come. It cost us 35 quid each.
35 quid, yeah. I mean, if I was him, I'd pay up. I'd just pay them. I'd just give them £35 each just to be quiet.
You've got to, haven't you? You've got to. Yeah. It's time to return to the rather more serious racing. We've got the 400-metre medleys coming up for you very, very shortly. Abbie Wood and Max Litchfield going in them. If you've not been watching so far, we'll have B finals and A finals for each of our races in across the evening. Loads coming up. We'll then move on to the 50-metre butterfly, both women and the men as well. So 2 very, very different races, but we've got swimmers in all of them who are really, really standing out, not just this weekend, but this year as well.
Yeah, it's been, we've got some fantastic races coming up. I mean, Abbie Wood kicking off. She trains with Max and Joe Litchfield at Loughborough. Having a little chat with her parents. She went 4:38 this morning in the heats. She's aiming to go under 4:30 tonight, so she's going to need another big drop off. I think she's going to win it. I think a lot of this race is going to be swimming on her own, so it's got to be one of those races where she's got to be in her zone, in her mindset, and focus on what she's got to do.
Yeah, this is the B final lining up on poolside at the moment. Sophia Wilson of Millfield School is the quickest through of the rest, the best of the rest as it were. She's in lane 4 for this one. She's going to have competition from Freya Colbert of Nova Centurion in lane 5, Molly Wright in lane 3 as well. Plenty to come. This is the first individual race of the evening. After all that silliness, and much welcomed silliness it was indeed with the Challenge 68, time to return to the altogether more serious art of the 400 metres individual medley, and it's back to our race commentator, Jonathan Bell.
Thanks, Steve. Back to the bread and butter, certainly here with the women's 400 metre individual medley B final now. And as ever, over the course of the night, medals given out between the B final and the A final to the top 3 juniors and the top 3 seniors. And of course, if any of our foreign invitational athletes are able to get in the top 3 as well, they will get a commemorative medal to their name. There are 4 junior swimmers taking part in this one. Junior swimmers, of course, those that are born in the year 2003 or later. Yes, 2003 or later, James, and they're managing to get to the B final here. Those are Olivia Clare in lane 8, Beatrice Farley in 6, Freya Colbert, the youngest of them, 14 years of age, in lane 5, and also Charlotte Robinson in lane 2. So those 4 looking for the 3 junior medals, and so many junior starlets over the course of the first couple of days already, James.
Yeah, it's really has been a... I mean, I was going to say a meet of the juniors, but it hasn't really. The seniors have been fantastic as well. But yeah, you mentioned young Freya Colbert, 14 years old, representing Nova Centurion Swimming Club. She's already done so well at her age group level. She's won medals in the freestyle, in IM, gold medals in 400 freestyle. So a great IM swimmer. She's also won medals in backstroke as well, and breaststroke. You know what, she's just a great all-round swimmer. I could keep reeling off her achievements already, and she's only 14 years old. So you'd expect Freya Colbert to be up there. Sophie Wilson from Millfield. She's also won medals in backstroke, golds in 400 IM, golds in the 200 IM. You can see some medals in breaststroke as well for Sophie Wilson. It's not right out, Molly Wright as well in lane 3. She's one of the old ones. She's now 20 years old. This 400 IM, a really grueling event, and obviously these young ladies swam this morning in the heats, and they'll have swum hard, they'll have swum fast, and to get that recovery time between the heats and the final is very, very tricky in an event like this, because it is such a tough event. As soon as they finish that heat swim, they'll be straight out into the swim down pool, keeping hydrated, maybe getting a little bite to eat for recovery, getting a good lunch, making sure they're getting some rest. Maybe some of them might have had a little kip during the day. Come back here, do a good warm-up, and then get ready for this final again. Sophie Wilson had a huge look across there on that turn, that breaststroke turn. She obviously touched the wall with her two hands, turned her head to the right, and gave Freya Colbert a huge stare on that breaststroke turn. It's almost like she was saying to herself, "Where are you, Freya Colbert? There you are. You're right next to me."
Yeah, this is a great battle, isn't it? And these two swimmers earlier on today did not swim anywhere near what they're capable of. They were safe in the knowledge that they probably would be into the final with a time of 4:50 or below. And Freya Colbert this year, she's the 10th fastest English girl over this distance in short course. And again, we'll emphasise the age of 14 years of age. It was a PB that she managed to record back in Nottingham in October of 4:45.62. Sophia Wilson is just under a second quicker than that, down to her personal best, but she hasn't managed to swim anything like that this year. And Freya Colbert, you can see momentum with her right now. Wind certainly in her sails going on to the freestyle.
Yeah, she's won some gold medals on for her age group for breaststroke, 200 metres breaststroke. So showing that superior stroke, getting maybe a body length up on Sophie Wilson now. And Freya Colbert really showing her skills in the pool. Already with that big, strong 6-beat leg kick. Pretty much all the girls in our screen we can see with that big, the 6-beat leg kick. There it is under the water. Freya Colbert spotting the wall. One fly kick under the water. Breathing to the left now, so she can see that she's well in control of this race. It's going to be her versus the clock. Personal best of 4:45.62. I'm sure she's going to want to try and beat that. And with 25 metres to go, she is going to do it. It's just how quick can she go? I'm probably thinking around the 4:42 marker here for her. She's went 4:50 this morning, so to come back here and smash it by, well, there we go, 10 seconds is very impressive. Freya Colbert.
Very impressive indeed. She's now inside the top 5 British girls of this year. 4:42.8. Fantastic stuff from Freya Colbert, bringing her A game to this final tonight. And what a way to do it. Second place held by Sophia Wilson of Millfield on 4:45 dead. Molly Wright of Noah Centurion on 4:45.27 as well. And that time there from Molly Wright sees her get a new PB. Worth mentioning Beatrice Varley as well of Hamilton. It looks like that she will be getting a junior commemorative for her performance. But Freya Colbert of Noah Centurion with a junior gold medal, as there are no juniors competing in the A final, and what a time to do it in.
Yeah, I'm a little bit shocked that she dropped 10 seconds from the heat. So I mean, I'd like to have seen her gone a little bit quicker in the heats this morning and maybe put herself. I mean, sometimes there's an advantage to be fastest in the B final, so you get one of those centre lanes, as opposed to being slowest in the final, where you might be in lane 0 or 9. It's a lot harder to swim out there in those lanes. It's really, really difficult. But big drop off from Freya Colbert. You could see on her face at the end of the race as well. She had that kind of smiley, surprised kind of look like, oh, really? I've just gone 4:40. So it was a good swim. Good swim from Freya.
2.5 seconds off Emily Larger's junior British record. So certainly Freya Colbert, one to watch in next year. And we always get the tweets in whenever we do in-venue stuff here at Ponds Forge, saying that Freya Colbert is the pocket rocket. And, well, you can see why over the course of all 4 strokes as well. We now move on then to the A final, where we have the 2 fastest English girls of this year going up against one another. They are Abbie Wood and Amy Bell. Incidentally, the 2 fastest from the heats this morning also. And the separation between Abbie Wood and Amy Bell in the heats, a full 5 seconds.
Yeah, I think it's going to be Abbie Wood versus the clock in this final. Abbie Wood, as we mentioned already, training with Max and Joe Litchfield, and had a good talk with their parents in the foyer of this Ponds Forge Arena about an hour ago. And they come from Buxton, specifically Whaley Bridge, which is where my mum and my grandparents grew up. So living not far from me, but they were just saying that she trains with Max Litchfield, and that's the reason why she's dropping these big times. She's gone from a kind of amateur swimmer to training with some of the best medley swimmers in the world, and it's made all the difference. It's turned her into a pro. It's forced her to turn into a pro. She said that she was, her mum was saying that Abbie was moaning to her mum, saying that Max doesn't miss a metre in training. He does every single length. And I'm not surprised. Max is a super pro. Can Abbie get under that 4:30 marker, which is what her parents were hoping she was going to do? She got personal best 4:32.30, so let's wait and see.
Yeah, Commonwealth Games finalist Abbie Wood landing up in lane 4. So there's some talent around her as well, gunning for a senior medal here in the women's 400 IM final.
Here we go. Referee just held them a little bit long on that start there. You know, the swimmers had to stay focused. But they're away, and they're all the way safely. All the way cleanly for this 400 metres individual medley. Down on this fly, 4-length butterfly, backstroke, breaststroke and freestyle. And these ladies down the first 100 metres will look to be long and smooth and relaxed, and I'm trying to force this butterfly too much because it's a long old road, this 400 metres medley, and if you do it incorrectly, it will be painful. It's going to be painful anyway, but you want to be able to finish in some style.
Amy Bell was the age group gold medalist at the British Swimming Summer Championships in late July, early August here in Sheffield. But of course making the leap now to mix in with some of those that are older than. I mean, is it a difficult transition when you're 17, 18 and you're looking northwards to those that have got a bit more experience than you to try and compete with them?
I mean, it depends on the swimmer. Personally, I loved racing the seniors. I couldn't wait, and I wanted to beat them. I almost wanted to beat the seniors more than I wanted to beat my own age group because they're the seniors. I want to beat them. It can be tricky. Some people find it really difficult. You know, maybe get a little bit daunted and think that they almost don't belong in the pool with the seniors. Amy Bell is 18 years old now. 18 years old is, for a lady's senior time, really. You're done being a junior. You've got to make that jump. And sometimes, and a lot of the time, it is just a breakthrough swim. A lot of the time, the swimmer does a swim and they do this time where they think, wow, how did I do that? And that's it. They break themselves into that top lot and start making teams. A prime example I like to use is Jocelyn Lelliott. At the trials last year, she dropped massive on her 200 breaststroke and broke the British record, long course.
Well, it was a good turn that, wasn't it, from Abbie Wood in lane 4, and I wonder if this is where the tide begins to turn, because so far it's been nip and tuck between her and Laura Stevens on the left-hand side and Amy Bell to her right, but now she's beginning to peak between the two of them, and that's really, you feel now, the turning point where she won't be looking back, and it's the question really of Amy Bell and Laura Stevens to keep up alongside her. Laura Stevens, you can see, struggling on this breaststroke, much more accustomed to Abbie Wood. And Amy Bell as well in lane 5, who isn't too far away, but those splits now getting wider between the front three.
Yeah, I mean, Laura Stevens, you can see, not a breaststroker, but a very strong butterfly. She won the gold medal in the 200 metres butterfly this week, Laura Stevens from Plymouth, Leander. So that's why she was with them for the first 200, and you can see her breaststroke is needs a lot of work. Needs a lot of work, and Abbie Wood with a very strong breaststroke has made a 5 or 6 metre gap away from Laura Stevens, but Amy Bell just about there on her feet. Good breaststroke leg from Amy Wood though. Very important stroke on the individual medley. There she turns, look at that, maybe 4 or 5 kicks under the water. That's good to see, because the lungs are burning there. You see, after 300 metres, the lungs will be burning, the legs will be burning after that breaststroke, and to do that, them 5 or 6 fly kicks underwater shows that Abbie Wood is in some good condition.
Yeah, it's over a second quicker than at this stage of a season's best that she managed to record earlier on this year, and that itself was in Sheffield at the Bucks event, but she'll have to go a little bit quicker if she wants to break 4:30, you feel, as she goes into the final 50 metres now. She's certainly going to win this race. The question is whether she can break 4:30. It's going to look tough in the dying embers.
Yeah, she's going to be just outside it. She's going to be pretty much just on her personal best. Personal best is 4:32.30. I think she might just squeak under that, maybe to a 4:31. We'll see if she's happy with it. And here it is, 4:31.70 for Abbie Wood, winning the gold medal.
Yeah, it is a new PB as well for her. Amy Bell's time of 4:36.81. That's a new PB there as well for her. And Laura Stevens has made it a hat-trick for our top trio. So they will be the senior medalists. Amy Wood topping the tree, the Loughborough swimmer, 4:31.7. And we're trying to gouge here some reaction from her. A bit of a smile, course exhaustion on her face, as is the case there with Laura Stevens as well. But a complete swim from Abbie Wood, as we're so accustomed to seeing from her over the course of a 400-metre individual medley. And she has won the A Final here at the Swim England National Winter Championships 2018.
Yeah, thank you very much, Jonathan. A fantastic swim that from Abbie Wood. It really, really was. We build this, James, almost as Abbie Wood against the clock this evening, and in the end, despite a pretty good swim from Amy Bell, that's exactly what it turned into.
Yeah, I think she wanted to go under that 4:30. I'm not sure whether she's pleased with that swim or not. I mean, she kind of looked like she had mixed emotions after the race. I think she'll be pleasantly surprised, pleasantly pleased with it, because a personal best is a personal best at the end of the day. 4:31, strong swim, really strong breaststroke leg. She's got a lot of work to come up over the next couple of months, because she's training with Max and Joe Litchfield. Those boys will be working so hard in the pool, and they're going to drag Abbie Wood along, I'm sure of it. And I'm looking forward to seeing her at trials and doing that same event long course. Yeah,
we've seen Max Litchfield quite a bit this week already. Brilliant performances from him in the 400 freestyle, 200 IM, and he's about to go as well in the 400 IM in a couple of races' time. Can you imagine, have you ever trained with someone with the personality of Max Litchfield? They just bring a different sort of energy to a training session, don't they? They're just animals.
Yes, animals. Yeah, a mum said that Abbie was like, Max doesn't miss a metre in training, it's so hard. And you can see that when Max races as well. You can see that he just doesn't give an inch to anybody, and he just puts everything into his swimming. Yeah, and I have trained with people like that. They are machines. They just keep going and keep going and keep going. They don't seem to get tired. They don't seem to get ill. Unfortunately, Max did have that injury, but they just keep ploughing away and keep ploughing away. And maybe that's what Abbie Wood's got to do to be at that top level like Max.
It's not something you really consider in a sport where there's no contact and it's individual, but it sort of works. Like they're basically hard as nails. These top swimmers, aren't they? To get through that sort of endurance training and the physical pressures of it, and to want it, to love it, to keep wanting more.
Yeah, that 400 IM is tough as well, guys. I'm serious. It's really and it's tough to train for as well, because
I feel like I'm giving you PTSD here, Jason.
It's just so difficult. I mean, I can't emphasise how hard it's the training that I'm thinking about, more than the race. The training is so difficult and so grueling. But if you're a 400 IM swimmer, most of the time you are hard as nails, because it is the hard as nails event. So wish Abbie Wood all the best. It was a good swim. I'm sure she'll be pleased with it, really. I should like to dip to that 4:30, but she can get back home, have maybe a little break over, probably only a little break over the Christmas period, and smash the next few months ready for trials.
Well, we're hoping to hear from Abbie Wood shortly, which will be nice. But before that, we're going to have the men's 400 IM B final. Zach Logue was quickest through this morning in a season's best of 4:24.33, the man from City of Sunderland. Adam Wilson and Max Murphy also in contention as we head back to the pool and to our race commentator, Jonathan Bell.
Many of these B finals dubbed to be junior finals, and this one, though, there's only the two of them. But what a talented pair they are. Pierce Greening in lane 1 of Cockermouth, and you can see in lane 6 Edward Mildred as well of Northampton. Two very talented young athletes, and a decent start there from Edward Mildred as well with the dive into the pool. But as we say, with the young swimmers, there's always that competition there from the seniors, and a chance to really just raise the bar that little bit higher. Personal performance definitely increases as a result. Pressure isn't really something that you, as a swimmer, can fail with at this event. Most swimmers seem to thrive from it, and the youthful nature of Edward Mildred And Pierce Greening certainly fit the bill in that respect. Steve mentioned that season's best there for Zach Logue, but a couple of personal bests either side him as well. And they're in the form of Adam Wilson in lane 5. Got a PB earlier today of 4:25.63, and Max Murphy of Loughborough getting 4:26.18.
Yes, we've just seen the women. Now we're going to see the men in the 400 metres individual medley. Starting off with this B final, we've got Zach Logue from the city of Sunderland, fastest qualifier in this B final. He's got a personal best actually, 4:19.11. So the only man in this final to dip under the 4:20 mark, and I'm sure he's going to want to do that again. Showing his backstroke skills off actually here. And sometimes at this level you'll see people making a move on all the different strokes. We saw Abbie Wood in the previous final, the women's A final, make the moves on the breaststroke. And here we've got Zach Logue showing his backstroke skills in this 400 metres individual medley. Turning at the halfway point, 2:02.60. Nice backstroke to breaststroke turn. That's 7 or 8 metres underwater on that pull out on the breaststroke. Let's see if anybody can make some moves and reel in Zach Logue. Nice pool up at Sunderland actually. They're very lucky with the facilities they've got up there. The pool is right next to the football stadium. You can literally, well, you can almost reach out of the window of the swimming pool and touch the stadium of light. That's how close it is.
Almost sounds biblical the way you say that there. Well, it is worth saying with Zach Logue, we have got that he got time earlier 4:24.33. He did actually swim 4:22 on the dot exactly a week ago today at the Scottish National Short Course Open in Edinburgh. So it is worth adding that does have a little bit of form coming into this. If he could just scrape 1 or 2 more seconds off the time he achieved 7 days ago, then he may be doing okay in that respect. And of course, being from Sunderland and being that far up north in England, you can compete in the Scotland National Open. You might as well do if you're invited there. Don't really see that many swimmers who have competed in the last few weeks coming to this event.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's a busy schedule over Christmas, and sometimes you want to pick your battles, pick your moments for when you race. You don't want to burn yourself out right before Christmas. 50 metres left for Zach Logue. Big leg kick now, isn't it, from the 20-year-old with the red Sunderland hat. No doubt he's going to win this. He's going to want to go under 4:19. He's going to do it. Let's just see how far he can get under that 4:20. Remember, he's got a personal best of 4:19.11. He will definitely be aiming to beat that for 100%. Let's see what nice straight arm finish, reaching for the wall. And there it is, Zach Logue. 4:16.48. Big PB.
Well, it's a time there from Zach Logue that would have comfortably got him into the second fastest lane in the A final. Really good swim from him, leading out from the front. Jonathan Milner in second, 4:20.03. That is a big PB for him by over 8 seconds. Max Murphy of Loughborough University also managing to get a lifetime best next to his name. Quite a few in there with him as well, managing to achieve the same feat. That was a really productive swim for those guys there, led by Zach Logue, who wins the men's 400 IM B final.
Yeah, thank you very much, Jonathan. Fantastic race there from Zach Logue, and we're hoping to see more of the same from our medley swimmers coming up very, very shortly. We've already seen some fantastic medley swims this weekend, perhaps none more impressive than this one from Abbie Wood earlier on in the women's 400 IM. Delighted to say Abbie joins us from the poolside right now. Abbie, a huge congratulations, a brilliant swim from you. First off, it's been a very, very busy weekend. How do you feel with it all?
Oh, I'm over the moon. I've been stuck in a bit of a rut in swimming for the past year, not really moving it on. And for it finally to come together this week after a hard cycle, couldn't be more happy.
What do you think's changed over the last year to get you out of that rut, to make you start swimming well?
I think definitely new training partners with Joe and Max Litchfield who are in the next event. Training with them, like such hard workers, has really pushed me on to do the same.
Well, we've been actually speculating, because we already knew that, I mean, a little bit of inside info through James here, but from the horse's mouth, what is it like to train with those two? Because we can only imagine up here.
Oh, it's good and bad, because they're just such hard workers, so if I'm having an off day, they just show me up a bit, so I can't really have an off day, which is a good thing, because it makes me enjoy swimming more, but yeah, it's okay.
Absolutely. In terms of what you're looking forward to in 2019, this must fill you with so much confidence, setting you up for what's a huge year for you.
Yeah, the year before Olympic year is like one of the most important, because if you're not prepared for Olympic year, then you're kind of starting from nothing. So definitely building it up over the next 2 years is so important, just to try and get your name on the team list for Tokyo.
Yeah, Abbie, I could see that. I think you wanted to go under 4:30 there tonight. Is there any kind of part of that race you think you could maybe improve to get under that 4:30?
I think just holding my backstroke together after the fly. My backstroke has been a huge. It really stands out as a. What's the word? Stands out bad in the eye.
A small weakness, maybe.
Yeah, basically, and it doesn't show up as much short course. So to try and keep that going through the long course season is really important.
Well, it gives you something to work on over Christmas, I don't doubt. All the best for the new year and for the Christmas period. Ladies and gentlemen, Abbie Woods. Well, what a fantastic swim from Abbie. And a lovely interview as well. Yeah. Another swimmer who's really just honest with how she's feeling and how she's approaching things. And lovely to actually hear swimmers talk about, I'm going for Tokyo. That is on my radar. That is my mission. Tokyo 2020 is where I want to be.
Yeah, definitely. And to get to the Tokyo 2020, you've got to identify your weaknesses and you've got to be able to transfer that into your training to progress forward. And that's why I asked that question, because I wanted to see what she had to say, and she showed some real maturity, saying my backstroke's weak, I need to work on it technically, and we need to work on maybe the pacing of it all, and she acknowledged that straight away. She knew exactly where her weaknesses was, and I'm sure she'll get in the pool, and Max or Joe will drag her through that pool to make sure she gets the best out of herself.
It was lovely, wasn't it, almost hearing, as I mentioned, from the horse's mouth, what it's actually like to swim with those guys. We speculated that it might be a bit tough.
Good and bad.
Yeah, and would that be similar experiences from you when you were swimming with people like those guys?
Yeah. And it's great to have those kind of training partners, because they'll drag her. You could see that she has off days and she has down days and she has days where she's really struggling, but those boys will drag her through hell to get her to get the best out of herself. So they'll be perfect training partners.
Super swim from Abbie Woods, and we've got a fantastic 400-metre individual medley coming up. We mentioned Max Litchfield, probably pound for pound the best medley swimmer we've got in the country right now, and what a swimmer this guy is. We've given him the sort of a lot of credit in the run-up to this, and there's a reason for that. He's been to the top level and really competed. We've seen him go so close to achieving major international honours. Abbie mentioned it there, next year's World Championships, next year's Olympics. After that, that's without doubt on Max Litchfield's radar.
Oh, for sure, yeah. I mean, Max wants to win the top honours, the top medals at the World Champs, the European Champs, Commonwealths, Olympics. He wants to do all this sort of stuff, and this is why he trains like a beast, and this is why he trains like an animal, and we've just kind of got acknowledgement of that from one of his training partners. He's won 2 golds already. I think it's a formality. He's going to go for time, isn't he? He's going to try and get under that 4-minute mark. He's not even bothered about winning the gold medal. I don't think he just wants to hit the time.
You reckon that British record's in danger, his own, of 4 minutes?
Yes, I always think it is with Max.
Lovely, that's what we like to hear. I'll hand over to our race commentator. This should be a belter as Max Litchfield, Joe Litchfield and Mac Darragh go in the 400 IM.
Thanks, Steve. Max Litchfield's, of course, British record set back in December of 2016. It surpassed its 2-year anniversary now, and he'll be thinking it's time to throw that in the bin and get a new one, sub 4 minutes. The European silver medalist, and of course just missing out agonisingly in the 2017 World Championships on a medal. Max Litchfield certainly the favourite for this one. His season's best 4:08.08 that he got a month ago at the Bucks Short Course Swimming Championships here in Sheffield. Local boy, of course, not swimming for Sheffield, but for Dearne Valley Swimming Club, likewise to his brother Joe as well. But Mac Dara of HPC on Terrio is there in the pool, and he will be going for a commemorative medal, no doubt. A couple of the younger swimmers in there as well. Robbie Jones in lane 0, Nathan Hughes in 2, and also Michael Rees in lane 9. But all eyes down the central lane.
Yeah, absolutely. Max Litchfield. I always think he's got a bad butterfly. I always think because the timing's a little bit weird and off on it, and he's got a little jerky kind of butterfly stroke, but it seems to really work for him, and he always seems to be ahead after the butterfly. So yeah, that's sometimes what works for a swimmer. But Max Litchfield at first, 54.82, which looks kind of quick to me. Down the first 100 metres.
It's about 3.5 seconds quicker at this stage than his season's best, and if he can keep up with those sort of increments, then he's well on his way.
Yeah, it's going to be looking for his British record of 4 minutes, 0.66. I think he's got his eyes firmly set on that. Not only that, I think he's going to try and break this 4-minute marker, which would be an incredible swim.
I think one of the interesting battles as well in this one is Joe Litchfield in lane 5 and Jacob Greenow in lane 6. Greenow certainly has been capable this year of times around the 4:12 mark, and didn't show that earlier on. He was about 4.5 seconds slower than it, but Litchfield and Greenow on paper really are neck and neck.
Yeah, and Mac Darrow's right there as well. He's maybe half a body length behind these boys. Yeah, I mean, you don't know with Jacob Greenow. He went 4:17 this morning. His personal best is 4:12. Maybe he was taking it a little bit easy. I guess we'll see what he goes in this final. As I've already mentioned, a lot of the swimmers will be getting kind of tired coming towards the end of this competition, having busy calendars and a busy couple of days with lots of racing. Legs start to get a bit tired, start to fatigue, and you don't quite need to hit the heats as hard as you need to this morning. Just conserve that little bit more energy. Maybe that's what Jacob Greenow's doing.
Look at the Litchfield now. I was just about to say there, James Max Litchfield out in front. I mean, he's not racing really against anybody in particular now. He's so far in front. Yep. Now, is that more difficult than actually being up against someone rather than racing up against the clock like he is now?
I'm not sure. I think he's probably quite happy where he is. You know, he's a very experienced swimmer. He trains extremely hard, and he knows his pacing. He knows what technique he needs to do. And yeah, you know what? You'd have to ask Max, because some people like to be out there on their own. Max is comfortable being out there on his own, isn't he? He's very comfortable. He's very happy to be out in front, leading by 10 or 15 metres. He did it in the 400 free on day one and went 3:38, and he was pretty much on his own there.
Well, he really could do this here, Max Litchfield. The split time there, 3:32.59. This is seriously good swimming, and you wouldn't bet against the 4-minute mark being at least touched here, maybe even broken.
It's going to be so close. He might just be on the 4 minutes. Prove me wrong, Max. Come on. He's on for it.
This is sensational stuff from Max Litchfield, battering home. He's 18
It is a new
over.
British record, though. Sorry, Jono, it is a new British record. 4 minutes, 0.18 for Max Litchfield, breaking his own British record. He puts his head back into the lane rope. He wanted to go under that 4 minutes. You know he did. It's still a fantastic swim. The fastest 400 IM that a Brit has ever swam. Look, he shakes his head. He shakes his head. Can you believe it? He's broke the British record, but he's still disappointed. And I mean, you can see why. I mean, he wanted to break 4 minutes. There's no doubt about it.
And he couldn't break your British record yesterday, James, but he managed to break his own today. And a PB as well for his brother Joe, as those two just lean on the rope alongside one another. Yep. It's Jacob Greenow just getting a high five from him there as well. He's got a lifetime best under his belt from that one with a time of 4:10.89. But a British record for Max Litchfield of Dearne Valley, 4:0.18. So close to breaking 4 minutes. That really would have been a double scoop, but I'm sure he will settle for the British record. Shown on your screen there as an English record, but it does double up as the British as well. No one on these shores has ever swum a short course race quicker than that. So terrific stuff from Max Litchfield. I'm sure will be exhausted after that, but nevertheless delighted when he will look back and know that he's broken the British record. Also an incentive 2019 as well. The first thing on his bucket list will be to break 4 minutes, and I'm sure we're not too far away from that occurring. Max Litchfield then, the winner of the men's 400 IM.
Thank you very much, Jonathan. Well, a British record, but it shows the level of swimmer and the sort of personality that Max Litchfield is, that he's actually devastated with that swim.
Yeah. He gave a thumbs up to the crowd right at the end, but you could see as soon as he touched that wall, his head went back and he put his head into the touch pad and into the lane ropes. He wanted to break that 4 minute mark. There's no doubt about it. I was saying it throughout the whole of the race. I thought he'd done it. I mean, the way he reached into the wall, it looked like he'd just dipped under, but yeah, he'll be disappointed, I think, Max.
Well, we've still got plenty on the way, ladies and gents. Some really, really good events as well. We follow this with the women's 50 fly, so the pace really does pick up now. And the first one of these is going to be a really fascinating one. Our sprint queen, really, in this country, Anna Hopkin. She's been fantastic this year, been working really hard out in the States with the NCAAs and the college scene, and swam fantastically well yesterday. And we're really looking forward to see how she goes in the 50 fly here against a swimmer from Canada, part of our international guest setup here, Penny Oleksiak, who was you may remember her from Rio 2016, the gold medalist in the 100 metre freestyle, that tied gold in the final. This is a swimmer who hasn't quite hit the heights since then, but is an Olympic champion, and that cannot be understated.
Yeah, she's not raced much this weekend either, has she? We don't know exactly what kind of current form she's in. We know what current form Anna Hopkin's in. She's got this sensational start, put her next to Kayla Sanchez, and she was beating her off the start, and great turns as well. So Anna Hopkin, for me, I think she's going to be the favourite. I mean, you can't write off an Olympic champion, of course. It should make a really good race. Yeah,
Penny Oleksiak didn't swim in the 100 free here on the first day of competition and hasn't really hit the heights since. She was at the Commonwealth Games for Canada this year, a couple of medals there, but only in relays. Didn't really deliver in the individual events. She's still only 18, still incredibly young. She was one of the stories of the Games 2 years ago as a 16-year-old doing that incredible swim. And it's going to be interesting, isn't it? Because whilst we can big her up and say maybe she's not on form, whatever happens, it's elite level competition here for Anna Hopkin, who can really pit herself against a very, very quick sprinter.
Yeah, it's a great scalp. If Anna Hopkin can take down an Olympic gold medal, that's always a great scalp to take, even though Penelope was 16 years old at the Olympic Games. It doesn't matter. If there's an Olympic gold medalist in your race, you want to beat them, and there's no doubt Anna Hopkin will be trying to do that. She's in great form, she's happy, she's confident. Like I said, she's got this rapid start and turn, and swim speed's fantastic as well, so she's probably the favourite for me.
Looking forward to it, but before that we've got the B final. Quite a few of our swimmers here not quite making the grade for the A, but some really, really talented youngsters, led by the brilliant youngster Sophie Yendor from City of Derby, the club where, of course, Adam Peaty initially made his name. She's the next off the conveyor belt, potentially just 16 years of age. We'll hand you over to our race commentator for this B final. It's the women's 50 metres butterfly, Jonathan Bell.
6 swimmers 15 years and younger managing to get into the top 20 of this event from the heats this morning, which is absolutely fantastic stuff. 5 of them making up the fabric of this B final of the women's 50 metre butterfly. And this should go by like a flash. The youngest of them, Kierra Tomasello, lines up in lane 6 for City of Manchester Aquatics, and she really could push the likes of Sophie Yendel in lane 4, Kate Mills in 5, and Jessica Calderbank in lane 3 as well, all the way, as they are so even coming into the red zone now. And it looks like it's going to be towards that far side, and Izzy Grant of City of Sheffield, who's managed to win it 27.38, a good time there from her, and it defeats her previous PB, 27.56 for Izzy Grant. Jessica Calderbank of Oldham Aquatics getting in second, just 100th of a second behind. Kate Mills in third. Fantastic swimming there on show in that B final. Jessica Calderbank second, Kate Mills third, but Izzy Grant with that PB there, managing to win the B final.
Thank you very much, Jonathan. Terrific spin there from Izzy Grant. Really nicely done from her. And delighted to say we've already had one fantastic medley champion this evening in Abbie Wood. Max Litchfield was the other, and he will be standing by to talk to us quite soon, which we're really excited for. And this women's 50 A final is coming up momentarily. Penny Oleksiak versus Anna Hopkin. These sprints, James, are so close. You can never really put a wedge between them usually. If there is going to be a difference maker, where will this race be won and lost?
Well, in 50s, it's usually at the start, turn and finish, especially on a short course event. Like we've not seen a lot of Oleksiak, I'm pronouncing that right. But we have seen a lot of Anna Hopkin, so we know what kind of form she's in. And that's where it's going to be won. Anna Hopkin's got such a sensational start. And I think if she just does what she's good at, does exactly how she's been going, she'll win it.
Well, we'll certainly keep an eye out for her. There's plenty of other swimmers in the race, of course. It's not just the Anna Hopkin and Penelope Oleksiak show. Emily Barkley and Laura Stevens, Emily Crane in there as well. Very good national level sprinters. Maybe not quite good enough to challenge the likes of Hopkin and Oleksiak, but great opportunity for them to race in such a field.
Yeah, it is. And these guys have been training really, training hard and practicing their, especially the 50-metre sprinters, practicing their starts, practicing their turns. Now's the time to execute. Now's the time to hit it where it counts. So for a lot of these guys, it'll be putting a really good swim together, a really professional good swim, nailing those skills and doing personal best times.
And that's exactly what both Penelope and Anna did this morning. In fact, so did Emily Barkley in lane 6, Emily Crane from a season's best as well. All of them are 26 seconds or thereabouts. Could be a really close race. We've billed this as a bit of a lane 4 versus lane 5 duel. Do not discount any of the other swimmers either. Anna Hopkin there coming into your shot is Penelope Oleksiak from the High Performance Centre in Ontario, out of Toronto in Canada. Penelope Oleksiak, and you can see she is built like a sprinter, isn't she? She's long, she's rangy, big long legs and long arms.
Big difference between lanes 4 and 5 there, isn't it?
Huge.
In terms of stature, yeah.
Anna Hopkin's got a lot more metres to swim in that sense.
Like a little pocket rocket, Anna there, isn't she?
Well, here is the start list. It should be a belter. Really looking forward to this one. It's over to Jonathan.
Thank you, Steve. Sophie Freeman lining up on the far side in lane 9, incidentally, the only junior representative here. 14 years of age. And, well, got one eye on the British junior record. I think it may be a bit too out of reach for her. 26.740 it stands at. She got a PB this morning of 27.51. So we'll keep that in the back of our minds as this race reaches its conclusion. But the thick of it will certainly be happening down the spine of the pool. And a good start from Penelope Oleksiak, the Canadian there, turning very strongly at the halfway point as well. And it's hers to lose this, as Anna Hopkin at the moment is just swallowing up her bubbles, coming up towards the wall. And it's a commanding performance from Oleksiak. 25.2 is the time for her to win it. Fantastic stuff there. It beats her PB by a very handsome sum indeed, by around 0.8 seconds. Anna Hopkin in second position. She gets a PB as well by just over a tenth of a second. And Emily Crane of Loughborough University, she has managed to also get a lifetime best there as well. So it's Penelope Oleksiak winning it. Anna Hopkin of Ealing in second. She was ultimately around 3/4 of a second or so, maybe just under, away from the British record. But Penelope Oleksiak, the Canadian, has won the A final of the women's 50-metre butterfly.
Well, what a swim that was from Penelope Oleksiak. The graphic there displaying the English record obviously doesn't count as she's Canadian, but it's worth pointing out that's quicker than Fran Halsall swam. That's a very, very quick English record, and that was an international standard swim that from Fran Halsall.
You know the lesson that we both learned: don't write off an Olympic gold medalist. I mean, we've just not seen her swim all weekend, have we? We've not seen her do an individual. She's not raced particularly that fast all year. So fantastic swim. I mean, just blew everyone out of the water, showed the quality and the class kind of swimmer that she is. Great start. The swim speed was sensational, really high in the water with that great undulation in the butterfly. Big, powerful, strong girl. You could see, you noticed that as well before she stood behind the blocks. Big arms, big shoulders, big legs, powerful woman.
Yeah, phenomenal performance. And we're delighted to say we're joined by our last record breaker. We've just seen somebody who would have broken the British record in the 50 fly. This man broke the record in the men's 400 IM, his own British record, as we say hello down on poolside to Max Litchfield. Max, thank you for joining us. I imagine this one's pretty bittersweet for you. First, huge congratulations has to go for breaking the record once again, but I imagine that 18 is really going to bite at you a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. Just said it was 0.19 quicker, I'd have been a lot happier right now. But, it's been a good year. To end the year on a high like we have in the last 3 days has been really positive, and we can take that into 2019 and hopefully some fast again next year.
Yeah, I know you train like a beast, Max. What time off are you going to have over? Are you going to train Christmas Day?
Oh, we're not training Christmas Day now this year.
Good lad. What about New Year? New Year's Day?
I don't think so either. Thank God.
Proud of you, Max, really am. In terms of this year, it's been such a roller coaster of a year for you. I know it started with a massive negative in missing out on the Commonwealth Games through injury, but are you pleased in general with how much you've progressed through the rest of the year to really bounce back ahead of a huge couple of years for you?
Yeah, definitely. If I'd have said a year ago today that I'd be here and swimming as fast as I am, I'd have taken it any of the year. So, the guys down at Loughborough and everyone that I've worked with over these past couple of years has done a fantastic job of getting me back to where I am. So, just really thankful to them, and just looking forward to 2019 now.
Well, we can't wait to watch you, mate. Congratulations on a great swim. You'll get it next time, I'm sure. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much, Max Litchfield. Really, really honest swimmer, as he always is. And my favourite thing about Max is he is always forthright with his opinion. He is very self-aware. He knows exactly where he needs to be. Yeah,
and you can see that in his racing as well, can't you? Just such, I've used this word a few times this week, a very resilient swimmer. He just doesn't give in. He just doesn't back down. He's got 4 extremely strong strokes. The other swimmers must stand there and think, how the hell can I beat this guy? What have I got to do? Which just makes him a really, really tough competitor. And we've
think of his poor brother Joe.
I know. Well, I know. Maybe Joe can beat me on the Xbox or something. I'm not sure. Maybe on Fortnite, just shoot him. But I don't know. But we've heard also from Abbie Wood as well, mentioned something very, very similar. She was like, training with Max. Oh my days, it is just crazy. He doesn't let up. He doesn't give in. He doesn't back down. Which pushes Abbie Wood as well. You could see Max was disappointed with that. Sometimes it's not about winning the gold medal for these guys. It's about hitting the targets. It's about hitting what you're striving for. And something that Max was striving for was to go under that 4 minutes. Didn't quite make it, so he would have been disappointed. But next time he'll get it.
Yeah, next time, as we said, I'm sure that 4 minutes will not last too much longer. We move on to the men's 50 fly now. This B final should be interesting, but just before we move on to that, we'll preview the A final a little bit for you, because we've got a really, really interesting one coming up. Sam Horrocks, Brian O'Sullivan, Eduardo Valsecchi, all going really fast this morning. In fact, lanes 4, 5 and 6, discounting Brian O'Sullivan, all have gone personal best times this morning. And Brian O'Sullivan was only 300ths of a second off. They're all on fire.
Yeah, quick. We know Sam Horrocks is swimming well. He's picked up that 100-metre individual medley gold medal earlier in the week and beat some tough competitors in that, by the way, as well, showing some real strength and power. Big lad, big muscly strong guy, swimming out of the city of Manchester. He's in lane 4 in the A final, and like you said, there's a few people doing personal best times this morning, so they're in great form. Should make for a fantastic final.
First though, as ever, it is the best of the rest. It's the B final. Harry Stacey leads this one out with Freddie Clampett and Jamie Ingram flanking him either side. It's over to Jonathan.
Thank you very much. Harry Stacey's time earlier on was a PB of 24.59, which ultimately saw him miss out on a spot in the A final by 1200ths of a second. Calvin Fry in lane 0 of Millfield is the only junior swimmer taking part in this. He may be eyeing here the English junior record of 24.82, but we'll wait and see about that. He's not really got off to the best race, and all the action's happening in the middle here as the touch comes in to the wall, and it's 24.15, which has won it for Harry Stacey of Shiverers. A second PB of the day for him. Freddie Clampett of Plymouth Leander in second position, 24.45, likewise getting a lifetime best. He finishes 400ths of a second ahead of Alessandro Badiso of Mount Kelly, 24.49 for him. The top 7 all under 25 seconds. Confirmation there of those results for the men's 50-metre butterfly B final.
Thank you very much, Jonathan. Good swim there from Harry Stacey out of lane 4. And now we can properly preview this A final, James. Sam Horrocks was quickest through this morning, 23.52 he went this morning, which is not only a season's best, it's also a big PB for him as well. And he's someone you kept an eye on all week, really, is someone who's swimming very, very quick.
Yeah, he is. He looks in good shape as well. 100 IM gold medal this week already in a pretty strong field. He beat the likes of Joe Litchfield, who we know are tough swimmers, and showed some real strength, power, and he's got that great butterfly, and he's a very, very strong butterfly swimmer. Usually, the 100 metres is usually more his event. Has he got that speed? Looks like from this morning he does have that speed. He's going to have some great challenges though from Eduardo Valsecchi and Brian O'Sullivan, either side. Both those boys this morning going 23 point as well. So it's those three guys on the 23 point marker.
And we've seen some big drops all the way throughout, not just today, but also this competition in general. It wouldn't be a surprise to see one of these guys drop some serious times in this one. The British record, in case you were wondering, belongs to one Benjamin Proud. That's not a huge surprise. That's 22.18.
I think that's safe.
Yeah, I think that will be safe
tonight.
That's the sort of level these guys are looking to aspire to. That is world class.
That's right up there with the world's best. Absolutely, yeah. I mean, something that's been great tonight actually is a lot of the swimmers have gone faster in the evening tonight than this morning. I mean, you'd expect that from a swimmer anyway. You know, a swimmer always wants to go faster in the final, of course. And we've been seeing that throughout all of these finals so far, even with the juniors, even in the B finals as well. And I'm sure these boys will want to go quicker as well. Sam Horrocks 23.52 this morning. He's going to want to get under that 23.5. And we're going to soon find out who is going to win this 50 metres butterfly. I think it's between lanes 3, 4 and 5, so keep your eyes on the centre of the pool. The start's so important, so important in this 50 fly.
And as ever, with a 50, you can't really take your eyes away from anywhere else than the centre, but you've got to be so careful because a good start and a good turn, and all of a sudden someone in lane 7 or lane 2 is right in the race, and the speed absolutely everywhere in this pool. Where's it going to go? We're about to find out. It's over to Jonathan.
Well, Steve, Sam Horrocks' best time this year, defeated this morning, meaning that the time of 23.52 puts him as the fastest English swimmer of the year. But a good start being made in lane 6 from Cameron Brooks-Clarke of City of Sheffield there, who himself got a PB this morning of 24.14. The turn, though, not as good as that of Eduardo Valsecchi of Plymouth Leander in lane 5. And now it looks like a straight shootout between him, Brooks-Clarke, and Horrocks joining in as well at the last. And Cameron Brooks-Clarke has held on 23.27. It's almost a whole second off the PB there for the City of Sheffield man. An inspired swim in this final with Sam Horrocks in second on 23.35 and Eduardo Valsecchi having to settle ultimately for third. He finished 0.03 of a second behind Horrocks, but Cameron Brooks-Clarke there, probably the dark horse out of the three, managing to really pull out all of the stops and get top prize at the end of the men's 50 metre butterfly.
Wow. Well, we saw our three swimmers who we expected to go sub 24. We didn't really consider that Cameron Brooks-Clarke was going to take almost a whole second off his personal best.
You did. You mentioned it. You said if somebody gets a great start and a great turn and a great finish,
being too kind.
They could. No, you did. You called it, and that's the big thing on these 50s, especially short course. If you can pull out a great performance like that, you can win a gold medal, and that's exactly what Cameron Brooks-Clarke did. Nearly a second off his personal best time. That is massive over 50 metres.
Ridiculous.
I'd have liked to have seen a little bit more celebration from the guy at the end. I mean, he was kind of just hanging on the wall like, oh, okay, yeah, you know what's going on. You know, he's just destroyed his personal best time. Come on, show us a bit of passion, show us a bit of celebration. But you called it, and it was a fantastic swim from the young man.
It really was. Plenty still to come, ladies and gents. The next two swims should be really interesting. This is an event that I know you, James, consider the blue ribbon event, really, of international swimming in particular. The 200 metres freestyle. We'll do the women first, and then it'll be the turn of the men. This B final is the best of the rest, and there's some really good swimmers in this one. Betsy Wizard is an enormously talented young swimmer out of Northampton. coached by Jackie Marshall, along with quite a few young swimmers out of there, Edward Mildred being another one, who are really showing so much talent at this young level. And then we've got the likes of Honey Oswin, likewise at Plymouth Leander, same age as Betsy Wizard. And then in the middle lanes, you've got a slightly older guard in Jemima Hall from Wickham District and Amy Grant from Loughborough Uni as well, who are targeting that 2-minute mark. The 2-minute barrier is massive for these girls, and that's where they're hoping to break tonight.
Yeah, it's great for Honey Oswin and Betsy Wizard are in nice positions there in lanes 2 and 6 with the older girls in the middle. These two youngsters can really push on and try and beat the older guard, as you put it, and get under that 2 minutes. I think some of these young ladies can do it.
I say older guard, everyone in the race under the age of 20, but that just makes us sound old,
15, I guess. Yeah, well, yeah.
It's over to our race commentator, Jonathan Powell.
Yeah, worth mentioning that bracket as well. Megan Barnes in lane 8, also 15 years of age. And incidentally, the youngest in the pool, a day younger than Betsy Wizard, going in lane 6 for Northampton. So it'll be fascinating to see how this one materialises over the course of these 200 metres. Initially going to form down the centre with Jemima Hall and Amy Grant trying to assert their dominance on this affair. Those two separated earlier in the heats by just 0.05 of a second. Jemima Hall managing to be superior there with that PB of 2:07.4. The only swimmer in the pool that's ever managed to break the 2-minute barrier lines up in lane 1. Near side, green cap, you can see there in the bottom right, Amelia Sansom of Wickham District. Her PB standing at 1:59.91. And I think when you've got your fastest swimmer on paper on the outside lane, James, it just shows how wide open this could be.
It does indeed. Amelia Sampson, from Wickham District, the only lady to go, I'm sure you've just mentioned this, to go under the 2 minutes. I love looking out for the juniors and seeing them come through. Just really reminds me of when I was a junior and racing these more senior type swimmers. Betsy Wizard in 6, keeping an eye on her, she's 15, and Honey Oswin in lane 2. Remember Honey doing really well in the backstroke. She made the A final in 2 minutes backstroke, dropping 6 seconds off her personal best to do that, and that was some swim. One of the swims of the day, one of the swims of the weekend for me. For Honey, she's got a personal best of 2:1.35 that she did this morning.
She's finishing not too badly here either. You can see there's about 6 of them merging towards the front, and it's the 2 green caps of Wickham District that look like they're going to spearhead this. Jemima Hall in 4 and Amelia Sansom in 1. Jemima Hall indeed gets there just ahead by 100th of a second, and look at that, just over 2 minutes, 2:00.02. Amelia Sansom ever so slightly behind her. Look at that. That is the face of a girl who has been so close there to breaking 2 minutes.
Yeah, so close. I mean, it again, like a bit like Max Litchfield on the 400, wasn't it? It's bittersweet. It's like, personal best, but I didn't break the 2 minutes. Good swim from the youngsters I was on about. Betsy Wizard 2 minutes 0.3 and Honey Oswin 2 minutes 0.4. So there we go. They've got the results on the screen now for you. 2 minutes though from these 15-year-old girls. Strong.
Surprising that you get 6 swimmers on 2 minutes and none of them being able to just quite break it.
Yeah, a little bit of shame, but there's plenty of time for them to get to other competitions and do it. Hopefully it'll give them that hunger to get back into training and do it next time.
Well, the A final coming up then, and quite a few familiar names coming out onto the stage once again here. I mean, you look at the 10 swimmers that we've got coming up, you can say something about each and every single one of them. Quite a few of them have already swam tonight. Laura Stevens back in the pool in lane 2, a return for Holly Hibbert, Marie Wattel, Kayla Sanchez as well, who's been one of the star figures really of the whole weekend.
Yeah, Kayla Sanchez has been a real breath of Canadian fresh air. Some of these girls have definitely been saving something in the morning. Marie Wattel, obviously that sensational fly swimmer. Laura Stevens, in lane 2 from Plymouth, another fly swimmer. So you can see the butterfly and freestyle kind of go hand in hand. You've got a strong James Guy's another similar one. He's got obviously an amazing freestyle, but an amazing butterfly as well. And I know Holly Hibbert can put a good fly together as well. So 2 strokes that can go well together. But this is the 200 metres freestyle, and got a feel it's going to be between Marie Wattel, Holly Hibbert and Kayla Sanchez in the centre of the pool. But we said that for one of the 50 freestyles, for the 50 fly, sorry, as well. And we got a surprise from lane 6, so let's not count out everybody just yet.
Well, I was just going to actually stop you on that as well, James, by saying that in lane 6 here, we have Georgia Coates, who swam this event at the FINA Swimming World Cup last month in Tokyo and got a time of 1:56.88, which currently stands as the season's best in the pool. So it just shows you never know with this one. The women's 200 metre freestyle A final, it's going to be intriguing, to say the least.
I've got a feeling, though, Georgia Coates is going to have to go quicker than 1:56.88 to win this 200 freestyle. I think there's too much quality in the pool. But let's not ride her out.
An electric start from Kayla Sanchez in 3 and Marie Wattel in lane 5, which we've come to expect from the two of them, but the latter from Loughborough. Very, very strong first 50.
Yeah, Marie Wattel winning the 100 metres butterfly. She is a unit, to say the least. She's huge, she's over 6 foot. Long arms, long legs. You can see with her freestyle, she has that long reach and pulls so much water. Drives that stroke front. She's going out so fast, 54.64. Holly Hibbert just a little bit behind. A bit more of a 400 freestyle special, but I know Holly Hibbert likes to come back really strong. She almost likes to even split her races and make the second 100 the same pace as the first 100. If she can do that, she'll reel these girls in. Just looks like Marie Wattle's done too much already, hasn't she, for anybody to catch her. Can Sanchez do something? I think Sanchez could do something down the back 50 metres. She's only 0.4 of a second behind. Holly Hibbert 2 seconds behind. I think that might be a little bit too much. Look at Sanchez move now. Look at Sanchez. Wattel dying, you see.
The kick as well from Sanchez, so strong at this stage of the race, and the final 25 metres look as if they're going to be Kayla Sanchez's now after Marie Wattel had such a fine lead. But Kayla Sanchez always with a smile on her face. She'll be gritting her teeth at the moment, trying to fight her way towards the wall, but she is going to win this one and get commemorative gold. 1:52.85 and a world junior record as well for Kayla Sanchez. Marie Wattel second for Loughborough University, with Holly Hibbert in third. But that was an electric second half of the swim there from Kayla Sanchez, and we believe that to be a world junior record. Another one for the Canadian. What a productive weekend she's had here in the Steel City.
World junior record number 4. Look at her, she's having a load of fun, having some great banter with the girls, making Holly Hibbert laugh. You'd think, a lot of people might watch her and think, how is she not out of breath? How is she not hanging off the wall? She is full of beans, full of energy. Look at bounding over those lane ropes. When you do a best time like that, when you smash a world junior record, you are feeling on top of the world. You feel like you can go again. The pain kind of just drowns away.
Well, Francesca Halsall will be glad now that a couple of the Canadians haven't got a British passport, because that would have been another British record gone had Kayla Sanchez been flying the Union Jack. And I mean, that is really impressive stuff from Kayla Sanchez. That would have broken a senior British record. It has beaten the world junior record, and she just continues to go from strength to strength. And if you've been following our coverage in the first couple of days, you know we've been not waxing lyrical here about her, rightly so. But on the final day, she's managed to end things with a flourish as well. She is the victor in the women's 200 metre freestyle A final.
She is absolutely ridiculous. What a talented swimmer she is. As Jonathan rightly mentioned, a world junior record. There wasn't one already set by FINA. It was a world standard time, which will now sit at the 1:52 that she hit. It was 1:53.07. Any swimmer the right age who swims that is guaranteed a world junior record. It was blank before. It will now read Kayla Sanchez of Canada, her 4th of the meet.
Yep.
That is a ridiculous standard.
Yeah, it is unbelievable. She's having a sensation. It's like she doesn't get tired either. You know, so at the end of the race, she bounds over she has a bit of a joke with Holly Hibb. I don't know what they're saying exactly. Then she bounds over the lane rope, springs out of the pool.
200 free is not an easy one to end on. That's
it's like, and you know, the time of 152 that she did would have broken the British record. And we were talking about what kind of standard is a World Junior record. It's right up there in the world. It would have been a British record, a British senior record, if she was a Brit. And that's how incredible these times are that she's doing. And she's full of beans, full of energy. I love her personality. It just shines through before and after the races and while she's competing in the pool as well.
Yeah, big couple of years naturally for Kayla Sanchez with the World Championships next year in South Korea and the Olympics, obviously in 2020. There is not a danger necessarily, but there is a possibility that Kayla is breaking these times because she could be seen as something of a short course specialist purely because her turns and her starts are freakishly good, and that's where she gains so much time.
Well, we're going to find out in the next year, aren't we? We're going to find out when it comes to the World Championships next year. She's got to pass her trials in Canada. I'm not exactly sure what their trials situation is.
It's her fourth Canadian record, by the way, as well. Canada, not exactly a bad swimming nation. That's her fourth Canadian record of the meet as well.
So we'll see how she transfers into the long course, and that'll be the real test. That'll be the real test at the World Championships next year. And that'll obviously set up a platform for the Olympic Games as well. Great swimmer, though. You know, fantastic. The skills are so good, though, aren't they? Starts, turns, and just the technique is just a joy to watch. And
I can actually, from what you've spoken to me throughout this event, both on and off air, almost from a real coach's analysis point of view, you're in awe of how good her technique is. It's a real sort of swimming nerd sort of analysis of it, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just because turns especially, you can practice them every single day in training because you've got a wall right there. You can just practice your turns, but a lot of kids up and down the country, they're so sloppy with their turns. They don't think it's important. They don't think streamlining off the wall is important. They don't think that, working the fly kick off the wall is important. And it is absolutely crucial to have those fundamental skills, and Sanchez has them in abundance.
Medals presented here for our first event, the women's 400 IM. That's Laura Stevens getting a senior bronze medal. Another one to add to the collection. She's been so busy this weekend, hasn't she? She just loves swimming.
Podium. She's just constantly on that podium. Winning that 200 butterfly, didn't she, earlier this weekend, Laura Stevens. So she's had a great weekend.
She certainly has. Commemorative silver being awarded to a swimmer from Hamilton. And team based in the UAE have provided plenty of medal contention. But keep an eye out for them in the relays later on, particularly the women. There's a really good relay on the cards in the 4x100 metre freestyle later on this evening. Amy Bell picks up a silver in the seniors category, and what a shock to see this young lady on the podium about to pick up another medal again. She has been absolutely magnificent all the way through this competition. Freya
Colbert's been ace, hasn't she? She's
still
been,
so young.
Yeah, she's been ace. She's been ace. Nova Centurion still producing some excellent talent.
And Abbie Wood gets her gold medal, and well deserved as well. She's had a really, really good meet. She's had to wait till the last day to get her best event. She's performed pretty well in the likes of the butterfly and the freestyle and the individual events. Of course, she's so capable of swimming as a brilliant overall all-round swimmer. But at last she got the medley, and now she's on top of the podium and put in a really good time.
Yeah. I mean, she doesn't seem to show that much emotion, does she, Abbie? She's maybe a little bit of a reserved character.
I think the flames have taken her by
surprise. You can see the heat, can't you? You can see the heat. That's making her smile anyway. I think maybe because she's winning these medals and doing these times, maybe it's maybe a little bit daunting for her. And
she's going to have to get used to it. She's going to keep swimming fast.
Yeah, she is. Yeah. Coming from Buxton, not far from me. That's up in the hills. Up in the countryside, beautiful part of the country. Moving to Loughborough and training with Max Litchfield and Joe Litchfield. So she's got some great company there. Bright future.
Yeah, really, really bright future indeed. The next medals will be presented for the men's 400 IM, and in fact, looks like they're just about ready behind me to go with that one. Some really, really fine swims coming again in this event, and the wee man making his way at the front of the queue there is about to receive a junior bronze medal. 15-year-old Ruben Visda. if he's swimming this quick whilst he's still, we reckon, yet to really have a proper grip. You look at the size of him compared to the other seniors. He's still swimming so well. That's genuinely quite a remarkable achievement, isn't it?
Yeah, it's great that he doesn't care either, does he? He's just like, I'm going to dive in and do my own thing, swim my little heart out, and making waves in the junior swimming world.
Because that's where, you know, swimming on a teenage level can be so decisive. Every youngster hits puberty at a different time, have the growth spurts at different times, and that's where you see jumps, stark jumps between individual championships, because all of a sudden they've turned up one year and they're a foot taller.
Yeah, I mean, and sometimes it can actually go against some swimmers, you know, when they get that growth spurt, it's almost like the body can't keep up with their brain or muscles, and it can affect the technique, and it can affect the way that you swim, and it's, you know, sometimes it can have a negative effect.
Pierce Greening picking up the junior silver, and Joe Litchfield picking up the senior silver there. Jacob Greenhow for Bath picked up the overall bronze medal, and another gold medal for Edward Mildred. I don't think he's getting bored of standing on this podium, is he? And Max Litchfield is being represented here. Looks like Max has already had to shoot off.
Max has shrunk. What's going on there?
One of Max's teammates picking up the medal for him on behalf of his Loughborough University team. And as is the way with these swimmers, especially the students at Loughborough, they do like to enjoy themselves, and he's absolutely loving life up there. But
Max, where are you? Max is probably training. He's probably off doing a training session right now. He's probably annoyed with himself that he's not broke that 4 minute and think, right, I'm going to do an IM set right now.
10Ks, that's straight in the warm-up pool.
400s IM, max effort.
Great stuff from the guys there. Terrific swim from all of them, really, in that 400 metre individual medley. 50 fly gave us some great entertainment as well. And well, what about what we've still got to come? We've still got the 100 metre backstroke to come. We've still actually got the men's 200 metre freestyle. Well, we see two Irish swimmers. We mentioned the likes of Kayla Sanchez, Penny Oleksiak coming here from Canada and swimming so well. We've got Jordan Sloan and Jack McMillan from Ireland to come, and those two really proved themselves earlier on, going pretty much the same sort of pace as James Guy. Now, James obviously isn't here. He's a sports personality of the year, as he absolutely should be. He's had a fantastic sporting year, but it bodes well for those two that they're similar sort of times heading into it.
Yeah, it's a good little rivalry between the Irish boys as well, isn't it? McMillan v Sloan, and we've got Lelliott in there as well. And with James Guy not being here, there's probably a gold medal up for grabs now that wasn't before.
Yeah, for sure. There's a few bronze medals being dished out here. Rosie Morgan is about to get one from Hamilton, UAE. A commemorative bronze. The junior bronze there just went to Hatfield's Sarah Kalafska. She's in the pink top in the middle. And another bronze medal for Laura Stevens, who, fresh from the 400 IM, also went and got a bronze in the 50 fly.
Yeah, she's just constantly on the podium, isn't she? Medal, 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 medal. It's getting boring. It's getting boring,
Laura.
Laura.
Different events either. The 400 and the 50.
It's getting boring, Laura. Come on. No, great job from Laura Stevens this weekend. Her coach and her team and her family will be really proud and happy with the way she's performed.
Junior silver goes around the neck of Chiara Tomasello, still just 14 years of age, despite being so tall. Really, really promising swimmer up at Comast there, sitting in Manchester. And we've got Emily Crane picking up a medal to the Loughborough University swimmer. 20 years of age now, silver medal for her. And no shame at all in that, in this field of all fields. It was ridiculously quick, wasn't it? This is a junior gold medal going to Sophie Freeman, 14 years of age. She swam in the A final alongside, you know, the likes of Oleksiak, Hopkin, Crane, Stevens, all of them, and came 8th in a really respectable time.
But this is stood next to Olympic gold medalist as well. She's probably thinking, oh, what do I do? What do I say? Olympic gold. Oh, it's a nice moment. They'll get a nice picture. Look, she's got a nice smile on her face.
Anna Hopkin with the national gold medal. And for Penelope Oleksiak, she's had a sort of strange couple of years since that Olympic gold. It can be difficult for a young swimmer especially to almost deal with being that successful that early on. And that seems to be a problem that she seems to have struggled with. She hasn't quite hit the height since.
Yeah, maybe, I'm not sure. Maybe she's had an injury, maybe she's had some sort of illness, maybe, you know, she's just kept her head down for 2 years. I'm not 100% sure. She looked pretty quality to me in that race there. She looked like, you know, we thought Anna Hopkin was going to challenge but Oleksiak was just superb. I mean, she won by 0.7 of a second.
Yeah, it was a
real class swimmer.
25-20 that win from Penny Oleksiak. She was she was the gold medalist in Rio 2016 in the 100 free. She was a silver in the 100 fly. It was a quite special games for her. 2 more bronzes in the relays as well. 4 medals in your first Olympics isn't really bad going, is it?
No. And you can see she's built like a swimmer as well, wasn't she? You know, she looked like she was about 6 foot there.
And the rest,
looking in great shape as well. Behind the block, she was looking lean. She was moving through the water so well.
Here we take a look at the medal ceremony for the 50 fly. This is for the guys. Junior bronze going away, Sam Townsend. There for Bedfordshire. Eduardo Valsecchi, the 21-year-old from Plymouth, Leander, gets the bronze medal. Alice Morgan will pick up the silver junior medal, 15-year-old from Wickham District. Swam in the B final. This is Sam Horrocks, who's had a really good meet actually. Been a bit of a return to form for Sam Horrocks.
Yeah, I don't think he'll be happy with that silver. I think he'll want him to win that 50 fly. You can see he's not smiling too much.
800ths of a second off, those are the differences at 50 metres, of course. And this is Calvin Fry, the youngster from Millfield, still just 14 years of old. He got the junior medal, and what a gold medal this is for City of Sheffield's own Cameron Brooks-Clarke. Still only 19, time on his side, a very good national swimmer, and that's what we've seen from him here. We thought Sam Horrocks, in the form he was going to be in, would really take that one out hard, but Cameron Brooks-Clarke nearly a second off a PB over 50 metres, which, I mean, we've talked a lot over the course of this weekend, James, about how people are dropping PBs all over the place in the longer events. You know, take some of the 1500s that were taking 30 seconds off and stuff like that. And you were saying how you get a bit jealous. But in 50-metre terms, take nearly a second off is ludicrous, isn't it?
Yeah, fantastic swim. I think he's saving a little bit this morning in the heat. You know, we've obviously been talking about that all the time. But some of the seniors have tried to conserve a bit of energy in the morning and then hit it hard in the evening. I think Cameron Brooks-Clarke was doing a little bit of tactical swimming this morning. No great swim though. He put fantastic swims together. Great start, turn, finish, and you know, just put a really strong, a second off his personal best. That's unheard of, especially at 19 years old. You know, he's pretty much a senior swimmer now. Yeah. To knock a second off in a 50 is huge. He'll be massively pleased with that.
Yeah, well, he should be. We've still got plenty to come on the programme this evening for you, ladies and gents. We end with the Challenge 68 final, of course, and it really should be an absolute belter. We saw the heats this morning. They were earlier on this evening, they were absolutely terrific, and the final, if you saw the heats earlier, you can only be excited for the final. Can tell you the finalists that have made it: Nova Centurion, Hamilton Aquatics B, Mount Kelly, Northampton, Mount Kelly B, who won the first heat of that one. They're in lane 4. City Milton Keynes, who won the second heat. They're in lane 5. Hamilton Aquatics A, Daventio XL, City of Peterborough, and City of Milton Keynes B. And from the madness of earlier on, there's our finalists, and they'll be used to it a little bit now. They've got a flavour for it, and they'll want to win that so much.
Yeah, it'll be. I wonder if they'll switch their order up and move things around. I think some of the outside lanes maybe need to do that just to try and get in the mix. But it will be interesting. It's very unpredictable, as we've seen.
Yeah, it certainly is, and we cannot wait for that one at the end of the night. If you missed the action in the early going this evening, then you're not going to want to miss the last race of the night, let me put it that way. It is absolute carnage in the water, a cross between swimming and It's a Knockout, something along those lines. Anyway, it's time to move on to our next event. It's the men's 200-metre freestyle in the water. We kick off with the B final. Canadian Yuri Casil is the man to watch in this one. Good challenge for William Riley and Sam Budd alongside him to test themselves against a proven international swimmer. It's over to our commentator, Jonathan Bell.
Just the 6 swimmers involved in this race, and Yuri Casil, the quickest of them, with the season's best earlier of 1:46.51, a PB either side of him for William Riley in lane 5 and Samuel Budd in lane 3 as well. Sam Budd from City of Sheffield, very much a prominent part of the more longer distances, much longer than 200 metres. We've seen him on the national stage before. Can he get himself within the medals here in a very competitive pool? Yuri Casil I've been talking just as much about his swimming as his moustache, James, so far this weekend. He's certainly a character outside of the pool, but he's been proving his worth in it as well.
Yeah, I believe he's in this final because there's already 2 non-British swimmers in the A final, so he has to be in this final because we only allow 2 per. And it's almost a little bit unfair to the other guys because Yuri Kasil would have been easily into the A final had we allowed more than 2. So this is why he's so far ahead. He's had a great week. Obviously, he's been sporting that moustache. Personal best of 144.10, 146.5 this morning. So swimming well, swimming quick. He's shaved off that moustache, so we should expect him to go a little bit quicker. With every hair that's taken off, perhaps 100th of a second is dropped. That's not proof, ladies and gentlemen. That's just me talking rubbish.
We can see how close it is in the 4 behind him there. Look at the battle going on here. There are still 3 English medals there to be won. Yuri Kasil will get the commemorative, but goodness me, who's going to be the one missing out? Well, Sam Bird manages to get the quickest out of the English swimmers, 148.02. Daniel Savage in next, and Jordan Cooley as well. They've done their best. Of course, we have to wait and find out for the A final and see the senior times that have been gotten there. But a really good race, just for the spectacle there, between Bud, Savage, Cooley and Riley. They were separated, all 4 of them, by 0.34 seconds. Yuri Kasil, though, easy work for him at the front.
Yeah, there's the official results up on the screen for you guys at home. Yuri Kasil, Samuel Budd, Daniel Savage are your top 3 places. We've got this A final coming up very, very shortly for this men's 200 metres freestyle. Should be some good action actually in this 200 metres. We've got a pretty close final. I mean, we've got Jarvis Parkinson in lane 0. His personal best is 145.91. So if he can get anywhere near that form that he can do, he'll put himself right in the mix. Fastest qualifier from the morning, Jack McMillan from Bangor, 145.63. The Bangor boys have been swimming very well this week. Jordan Sloan next to him in lane 3, so the teammates going head to head, having a little battle. But don't forget about Jay Lelliott from the city of Sheffield, 145.89 this morning. Season's best actually from Jay Lelliott. So swimming well, swimming quick. I think this could be a good final, a good race. I think this could be a good race, which is something that we always want. You know, the previous one we saw Yuri Kasil just go off on his own, and there was a good race for second, but we want a good race for first, and I think this could deliver.
Well, let's hope it does. We mentioned the Bangor boys and McMillan and Sloan, and Callum Jarvis just coming out now. You can see him there, the Bath University man. He's got a decent PB, 144.19. That's actually the quickest out of the English lads taking part. Jay Lelliott's PB isn't far behind that, 144.41. Of course, James Guy not taking part in this. He is the British record holder, 142.22.
Yeah, just talking about Callum Jarvis in lane 2. Big, powerful guy. He's huge. He's an absolute unit, but he's a very good freestyler. He's had a good year actually. He was part of the 4x200 freestyle relay team that won gold at the Europeans a few months ago. Came 5th at the Commonwealth Games in the 200 freestyle, and back in 2014 he won the bronze medal in the 200 freestyle, so knows what it takes to win medals at big competitions. Let's see what kind of form he's in this 200 free. Can he challenge for the gold medal?
All but 2 of these swimmers 20 or above. Jack McMillan and Luke Turley in lanes 4 and 8 respectively, the 2 18-year-olds that are outside of their teenage years. Sorry, should I say still within their teenage years at the moment, the rest of them outside of it. Good start being made in lane 0 by Jarvis Parkinson at Loughborough University. We said his PB is impressive, 145.91, and early on trying to show that sort of form here, but it's Jack McMillan turning first after the first 50 metres.
He's got a nice stroke, hasn't he, Jack McMillan? He's got this nice bent arm recovery, and stroke looks smooth and clean, very clean entry. He's got this nice long drive with his right arm and left, actually. He drives the stroke forward with that right arm when he enters, reaches long. Watch this right arm of our fastest qualifying lane forward. That right arm goes in now and drives forward. It's a nice, powerful technique. Keep that stroke relaxed. It becomes very efficient. Big legs from all the boys here. And why not? Is only hopefully a 140 something race. So it's McMillan with a superb turn there. He's really decided to turn on the afterburners with 50 metres to go. Great swim here from Jack McMillan. I mean, I thought he might have some challenges around him, but he's just decided to blow everybody out of the water. And look at the lead he's built now.
Into the red zone. What sort of time is he going to get here? He's going to get a new PB comfortably. 1:44.23, up by 1.4 on his previous best. Jay Lelliott manages to sneak in front of Jordan Sloan and deny a Bangor 1-2. And the next of the English lads in there was Callum Jarvis, followed by Carl Chisholm, but dominance from start to finish from Jack McMillan of Bangor.
Yeah. It's well in control of the race the whole way there, Jack McMillan. A very confident race, a very confident swim. Just from the start all the way through to the finish, he led the whole way and knew exactly where he was, knew exactly what he wanted to do. And you notice with 50 metres to go, he just turned on the afterburners, and that blew the rest of his competitors away.
So that's the result there of that one. The women's 100 metre backstroke finals coming up very shortly indeed, but we'll quickly nip back to the studio now, and a bit of reaction between Steve and James as well from that men's 200 metre freestyle final.
Yeah, thank you very much, Jonathan. A terrific swim from Jack McMillan there, and it's good to see actually that the international swimmers are coming over and really putting some good swims on for themselves. We're not looking inwards when we're holding this event, when we have international swims. We're just swimming fans who want to see some of the best swimmers swim here, and it's good to see.
Yeah, get them all over, get as many international swimmers as possible over. It's great to watch. It's great for our British guys to compete against the best in the world. And yeah, I mean, Jack McMillan looked fantastic, didn't he, from start to finish? As soon as he dove in the water, he had that down the first 100 metres. His stroke was in total control, very smooth, very clean, and you just noticed with 50 metres to go, everything started to lift. His leg kick started to increase, his power in his stroke just lifted that little bit more as well, and he just accelerated throughout. I used the phrase the afterburners, turned them on with 50 metres to go and just pulled away. Very, very strong swim, very, very mature swim, and a well-deserved gold medal for Jack McMillan.
Now, it's worth pointing out, James Guy obviously not swimming tonight. Would that have been a swim that would have challenged James Guy, do you think, or would he have still had it in control?
I think James Guy would have won this. Yeah, I do think James Guy, he's got a personal best of 1:42 actually. He did do that a couple of years ago, back in 2016. He might have put a little challenge in for James Guy there, and it would have been good to see. I think Jack McMillan needed a little push at the end there to, and then maybe see what how he reacts under the pressure of a world-class swimmer next to him as well, like James Guy. But you know, we'll never know now. But you know, Jack McMillan could only do what would beat who was in the water. He could only do his own thing, and he did it fantastically well.
He did indeed. We move on to the women's 100 metre backstroke now. The A final will see Jess Fullalove go in lane number 4. She comes in as hot favourite for this one. But before that, we have the B final, and some of our more talented youngsters are in this one, as well as a couple of very, very talented older swimmers as well. It's over to our race commentator, Jonathan Bell.
One of these 10 swimmers in their career have managed to break the 60-second barrier yet in this event over the short course format. Is that about to change for at least one of them here today? The closest ever to doing that was Molly Allen in lane 6 of Loughborough. Incidentally, she is the oldest in the pool at the age of 20. 60.24 she has previously managed to achieve, but not in this calendar year. Great start in lane 8 by Caitlin Bergen of Mount Kelly. Very encouraging stuff indeed there. She got a PB of just above 60 seconds herself earlier on today. And from this early in the race, especially over 100 metres, you see someone this far ahead. The rest of the pool in a straight line.
Yeah, across the whole pool, everyone went 61 this morning. Every single one, so less than a second, splitting all 10 swimmers from the heats. And it looks like Caitlin Bergen from Mount Kelly, who are having a great weekend. It's going to be a challenge in lane 1 as well. It's going to be on the touch, on the finish. Rachel Anderson from Millfield just taking it down by 9/100ths of a second. 1 minute .98. Then it was Molly Allen from Loughborough University, 101.07, and Caitlin Bergen from Mount Kelly just getting in the 3rd place with 101.13. Only 15/100ths separating the top 3 girls. That's how close it was on the finish.
Yeah, great finish in that one. Rachel Anderson, 800ths of a second outside of a PB with that time of 60.98. Molly Allen, Caitlin Bergen, Candice Hall following in afterwards. I don't think they'll be back on the podium as we have a full roster of senior swimmers coming up in the A final, and all those swimmers themselves were above the age of 15, so they are also in the senior bracket. However, some decent times to get the teeth into there and look to improve on. Quite a few of those swimmers we will not see again this weekend, so they'll be hoping that that has been a good weekend's work for them. But now, James, the A final coming up. Jessica Fullalove, the fastest Brit this year, and only 3 English swimmers have actually managed to get under 60 seconds this year, so a few of them really needed to perhaps step up to the plate.
Yeah, now's the time to step up. Now is the time to do something special. Chloe Golding in lane 6, 59.0 this year. 59.4 this year. PB's 59.05. Jessica Fullalove looks like she's the one to beat. Personal best of 58.0, and she has been 58.17, which she went this morning actually. So right on form is Jessica Fullalove. She's going to be the one to beat. And like you mentioned, John O, somebody needs to step up and challenge Jessica Fullalove for this title. There's a few girls on the 1 minute barrier. Like Charlotte Evans in lane 2. She went PB this morning, 1 minute .18, and in lane 1, Athena Clayson from Mount Kelly, 1 minute .67. So these ladies will be looking to get under that minute barrier because it's so important. Here we go, here come the ladies.
Yeah, just looking across at the lineup, 3 of these 10 managing to get PBs earlier on today. They are the swimmers really out towards the far lanes. Emily Crone out in lane 0. She got a season's best earlier of 60.8, which is 0.28 off of her personal best. Chloe Golding then of City of Manchester Aquatics has swum under 60 this year. A month ago in Sheffield, 59.45 at the Bucks Short Course Swimming Championships 2018. And I said there were 3 English swimmers that have managed that this year. The other 2, Lily Bosley, who lines up in lane 3, and of course Jessica Fullalove in lane 4, as we see there. So big one to come this, the women's 100 metre backstroke A final. We're hoping for a bit of a surprise somewhere in order to get under 60 seconds. It's probably going to be quite a bit lower than 60, isn't it, to try and beat Jessica Fullalove in this one.
Yeah, I've got a feeling you're going to have to go 57 to beat Jessica tonight. She's got a superior underwater technique. Really likes to use that underwater to gain huge advantages against her opponents. In terms of the swimming speed though, she never seems to pull away too much with her swimming speed. It's all that underwater, it's all that power in the core and the leg kick for Jessica Fullalove. Let's keep an eye on the start. It's important to look at these details, especially if you're a swimmer back home. Keep an eye on the skills. Nice big starts, legs come out, whole body goes through the same hole as they enter on the backstroke start. And then we see Jessica Fullalove maybe just ahead of the field. Nice start from lane 5 though, yeah? That's Lauren Cox, City of Coventry, going with Jessica Fullalove. You can see they're matching stroke for stroke. This is an important turn, the second turn, and Jessica Fullalove may be doing, look at this too, just a huge advantage over Lauren Cox. They went in together on that turn, and Jessica Fullalove just hit that second turn so hard and works that underwater. And look at what she's doing here. This is tactics from Jessica Fullalove, experienced backstroker, cruising the first 50 and working that underwater on the second 50 to get the victory here. 57.83, a personal best for Jessica Fullalove.
Yeah, big time that from Jessica Fullalove. 57.83, by far the best British female swim of the year in short course, and almost a bit of a smile coming out from the University of Bath swimmer there. She's got the pineapple on her head, and she'll be feeling very good after that one. Chloe Golding second, 58.58. Hanna Henderson there is the Canadian representative of that one. She was the youngest in the pool at the age of 16. She's managed to break 60 seconds for the first time. The top 7 all getting under 60. We were saying that a few of them needed to start doing that, and they've certainly come to the fore and managed to do so. So congratulations to them, but a big well done to Jessica Fullalove, winner of the women's 100-metre backstroke.
Yeah, thank you very much, Jonathan. Terrific swim from Jess Fullalove.
Yeah.
And a swimmer that used to be around your sort of neck of the woods, up in Manchester, used to love swimming out of there, and has gotten to the programme down in Bath with a lot of our top swimmers down in the southwest, and seems to be reaping some kind of reward from it.
Yeah, very tactical swim actually from Jessica Fullalove. You saw down the first 50, it looked like she was kind of going head to head with the with Lauren Cox there from the City of Coventry, and I was thinking, maybe Lauren Cox can do something here. And when Jessica Fullalove hit that turn at the halfway point, she hit that underwater with power, with grace, and she came up half a body length ahead of Lauren Cox. And you could see that's exactly what her plan was. Cruise control down that first 50 metres, don't overwork the legs, keep in control of that stroke, smash that turn underwater and blow the rest of your opponents away. Did it with the last turn as well at the 75-metre mark. She hit that turn really hard, worked that underwater work again, and gave her another half a body length. So by that time, she was a body length ahead of everyone, and she'd won the race.
Underwater so important in backstroke in particular, and we're going to see this in the men's race as well. The A final featuring Luke Greenbank, who's a big exponent of a very long underwater. He uses everything he possibly can, doesn't he? So does Tom Howdle as well. Tom Howdle, it's interesting because Tom Howdle won the 50 metres backstroke, Luke Greenbank won the 200 metres backstroke, and now we've got something in between, the 100 metres backstroke. This could be the melting pot. This could be the one where we find out who's got that something in between, you know. So it's going to be interesting. They both love it, like you say, they both love their underwater work. They both like to go to 15 metres. So keep an eye on that. When we watch those two boys, they go right to the wire on the 15 metres. Yeah, Greenbank versus Howdle. Bloodbath potentially in final number 2 of this 100 metres backstroke. We start with the B final. Thomas Gilroy quickest through in this one, and it's back to Jonathan Bell.
Well, we haven't seen much of the juniors for the last few races, but they do return. Double dosage of them on the outside lanes. Ruben Visder on the near side in lane 1, turning sharply there as well with the red cap from City of Sheffield. And marginally, you'd say, in the way, perhaps it's now Thomas Gilroy of Pioneer 79 beginning to extend the lead forwards. Nick Skelton, also a junior swimmer, going in lane 7 for City of Oxford. But Benjamin Steig of Loughborough University now joining Thomas Gilroy up towards the front. It's a certainty that the winner out of the 2 outside lanes, Visder and Skelton, will be getting a gold medal from this in the junior ranks, because there's none to come in the A final, and it's Ruben Visder who's the highest out of them, and he's not too far from winning overall, but Thomas Gilroy will do that. 54.72. Second for Harry Noble, and Ruben Visder, the junior, 55.38, a new PB for him, and he's going to get the junior gold medal from that.
Ruben Vista he's a real exciting swimmer to watch, isn't he? Out there in lane 1, outside Smoker to take that third place. That's a good swim. But Thomas Gilroy, Pioneer 79, 54.72.
Yeah, good stuff from him. The top two, they're getting under 55 seconds as well. For Gilroy, he's managed to do that for the first time. And Harry Noble joins that club as well. Results there confirmed for the men's 100 metre backstroke B final. And we can get some reaction from the previous event in the women's 100 backstroke now with Steve and James.
Yeah, thank you very much, Jonathan. Another tremendous race in this 100 metre backstroke, and we're really looking forward to seeing the next one as well. But in terms of the backstroke, we did see that fantastic swim from Jess Fullalove just a few moments ago, and delighted to say Jess is down on the poolside for us now to talk us through what was a great race and a great result. And Jess Fullalove joins us now. Jess, first of all, huge congratulations. A fantastic swim from you, good time. How do you feel?
Yeah, I'm really happy with that. It's a personal best. I can't ask for much more than that, really.
Yeah, tell us about the tactics. The way I kind of saw it was you were kind of cruising down that first 50 metres. On that second turn, you hit it so hard and you worked that underwater and kind of just blew the rest of the people away.
Yeah, that was probably the tactic, was to kind of go out fast but relaxed and then have like a really fast back 50. I really just tried to pick the rate up and just push my way all the way to the wall.
Short course versus long course, always big debate between swimmers, but I'm guessing with the amount of underwater skill that you have, you quite like the short course.
Yeah, I do. It's kind of, I do like it and I don't. I mean, I like to get into my stroke and get into the pace 50s long course, but I do enjoy short course. It's a completely different ball game.
So what are the targets over Christmas and the New Year?
To really just get back to it straight away. Had a bit of an injury in the summer, so set back quite a bit. I just need to get my fitness up again before the long course season kicks off.
Well, I wish you all the very best with that, and of course a very good
Thank
Christmas
you.
and New Year as well, ladies and
Thanks.
gentlemen. Jessica Fullalove. Terrific swim from Jessica there, and really, really pleased with it as well. It's interesting how swimmers are always so on the fence about short course. They can never quite make up their mind whether they like it or they don't, and that's a prime example.
She likes the short course, come on. The thing is because
you used to love it, right?
Yeah, I mean, I did. I enjoyed short course. It's just because the Olympics and the World Championships are long course, and they've got to be our focus. So we always have to put long course just slightly ahead of the short course racing all the time. But you can see that she loves the short course because she's got those skills, to show off in front of everybody, which is great to see. Tactics were spot on. I mean, she stayed. She wanted to go out quick, but relaxed in her stroke. She wanted to rush it. She didn't want to kind of force too much down the first 50 metres. You could hear when she said that she wanted to hit them turns and really work that back end, which she did to perfection.
She's been a very, very good swimmer for a long time now, it feels like, Jess Fullalove. Still relatively young. Next year could be a massive year for her. We always see, don't we, in a trials year, which this is for a World Championships, we always see one or two swimmers just emerge and make their stake their claim, really, for a place on that team. And there is a bit of a gap there, isn't there, in the backstroke in particular? You could argue for both the men and the women. And since Lizzie Simmons' retirement, there is room there for a backstroke.
Yeah, somebody's got to step up in like you say, in the men's and the women's, and maybe it's time for Jessica Fullalove to embrace that senior spot. But like I said, there's a big transition from short course to long course, and she just wants to get. She said, I asked her about the Christmas period. She wants to get straight back into it. So she's hungry. It sounds like she's hungry. She's ready to push on, to work hard towards the trials next year, and transfer that short course skill that she shows so well into the long course.
Okay, then our next race should be a cracker as Luke Greenbank takes on Tom Howdle. 200 champion versus 50 metre champion. This obviously a meeting in the middle.
Yep.
Where's your money?
Tough
to call, isn't it?
Well, I'm going to go with Tom Howdle, aren't I? Of course, I mean a Stockport boy. We can't rule out Jay Lelliott. And Luke is such a good swimmer. It's going to be too close to call. I hope it's a really, really great race. I really want these two boys. Just something for everybody to watch at home. Just watch the underwater, especially on the start. Thomas Howdle in the heats this morning went 15 metres off every single turn, and the first one and the second one were very, very close. He was pushing that 15-metre mark right to the end.
Something to look out for, no doubt, in this one. It should be a belter, this 100 back final for the men. No idea where this one's going. Let's find out with Jonathan Bell.
Thank you, Steve. No rest for the wicked for Jay Lelliott in lane 3. It's just fresh from the 200-metre freestyle, straight back into the pool for this one as well. And what a tough test he's got in order to try and get up there with Luke Greenbank and Tom Howdle. James McFadden also part of this race in the men's 100-metre backstroke A final.
This should be really interesting. Let's watch these starts. Both Luke and Tom will go right to the 15-metre marker, and there you go. You see the two boys in the golden lane ropes, pushing it all the way. Great start from Luke Greenbank. What a start. And here we go, look at that, right up to Tom Howdle does like to use. Luke goes about 14.5 metres, Tom Howdle 15 metres. Luke Greenbank looks superior, I think, down this first 50 metres, 24.68. Then closely followed by Tom Howdle, well, I mean, say closely, 0.6 of a second before, then Jay Lelliott, 0.7 behind Luke Greenbank. Tom Howdle's going to have to really work hard down this back 50 if he wants to challenge Luke Greenbank, who I think looks superior in this 100 backstroke. Winner of the 200 metres backstroke, and now coming in to take the 100. Thomas Howdle making moves as well, though, but let's watch the clock. It is quick. It's 50.88 for the swimmer from Loughborough University, and that is a hell of a swim. 50 point is easily a personal best time for Luke Greenbank, and he'll be pleased with that.
Well, it's nearly a PB by half a second there for Luke Greenbank, and almost had a glimmer there at the red line as to where the British record stood. Look at Jay Lelliott, exhausted to the right, 2 swims in a row for him after the 200 freestyle. But Luke Greenbank there, 58.8, and he's 0.74 off the British record set by Liam Tancock, which is over 10 years old now, which emphasises how difficult that'll be to break. But we just review that. Greenbank from Howdle from Lelliott, and they are the 3 quickest times that any British swimmer has set in this event, short course in 2018.
Yeah, good swim from Thomas Howdle as well, actually, 51.59, quicker than this morning again, so another best time for Thomas Howdle. But that was a great swim from Luke Greenbank. I thought it might be a little bit closer actually between Greenbank and Howdle, but Greenbank proved me wrong, and that's what we like to see. We like to see swimmers smashing it out and doing massive best times like that. Great swim.
Women's event coming up shortly with the 200-metre breaststroke events, and well, some serious junior talent will be coming up in that as well, with Lana Broekhoven poised in the B final in lane 5, the age of 15 years, to go out there for a junior gold medal, perhaps. The other juniors involved, Natalia Druitt, Abingdon Vale in lane 1, and Charlotte Robinson, a City of Leeds in lane 6. And you know, we like to emphasise the juniors because of the exposure they're getting here. You know, they're on national television, they are on the BBC, on a big stage here where so many great British swimmers have swam over the years at this national meet, and you want to shed light on them because they've got so much potential for the future.
Absolutely. I always like to keep a keen eye on the juniors. So many fond memories of this swimming pool, coming here and doing best times and winning medals, and it's a bit of nostalgia for myself, watching these youngsters doing some fantastic personal best times and winning these amazing medals and racing some of the best swimmers that Britain and the world has to offer.
Well, in there as well, Charlotte Hume, and she's 16 years of age, of Stockport Metro. Sophie Payne of Hatfield as well. In lane 8, we're about to see her in the pink cap, and we managed to get a PB this morning of 2:32.23. Talk about the youngsters. 24-year-old Kamala Ketchin of Loughborough University is in there in lane 4. She managed to kick a season's best for herself earlier of 2:29.83. Emily Wood in lane 3 for University of Bath, season's best earlier as well, going her way. Maybe a little bit disappointed she couldn't make the A Final, Emily Wood. So the PB does stand at 2:26.95, but nevertheless we're set for a good final here, the women's 200 metre breaststroke A Final.
This is your women's 200 metre breaststroke B Final.
Amazingly, this is the last female individual event of the weekend at the Swim England National Winter Championships 2018. Starting with the B Final.
Yeah, this 200 metres breaststroke is underway, the B Final. And down this first 50, 100 metres, you want to keep this breaststroke long and strong. Don't snatch too early with your stroke. Hold that glide at the front and just stay relaxed down the first 50 metres. On this 200 breaststroke, you don't need to rush. You don't need to panic. You almost want to just float across the water and glide across the surface of the water for the first 50 metres, and then you can start building through the 200 as you go. Good start from Kayla Sanchez, Loughborough University swimmer. 2:29.15 is her personal best. She went 2:29.82 this morning, so a pretty good heat swim. She's gone out pretty quick down this first 100 metres. She's going to be around 1:10, and she does 1:10.36 for Kitching, then Broekhoven, and followed by Hume and Wood, McDonald, Robinson, Fletcher. Still keeping this nice long stroke is Kayla Sanchez.
Well, if we just check in on the junior trio here, leading them out is Lana Broekhoven in lane 5. You can see the silver Plymouth Leander cap, and then the yellow hat just above her, slightly behind in lane 6, is Charlotte Robinson, and she's up against the other yellow hat in the pool down on the near side in lane 1, and they're very even with one another. Natalia Jewett, that is, of Abingdon Vale. So her and Charlotte Robinson could be very close here for the junior silver medal. Lana Broekhoven poised to take the junior gold, but in terms of the senior swimmers towards the front, they won't be expecting a podium finish here because of the amount of seniors we've got coming up in the A final. But nevertheless, Kayla Sanchez swimming well and aiming for a PB. The last one that she managed to get was 2:29.15, not a million miles away from it earlier on today, but she has certainly gone up several gears tonight to be able to get a new PB at the age of 24. 2:27.23. Emily Wood in next then, 2:28.84. It will be a junior gold for Lana Broekhoven of Plymouth Leander, and then the battle for junior silver, that has been won by Natalia Jewett ahead of Charlotte Robinson, who ultimately dropped off as senior leads there, but Kayla Sanchez getting the B final success. Well, no time for her to admire the scoreboard and smile about it, but we can look at those results now. Kitchen from Wood, from our junior champion there, Lana Broekhoven, who manages to break the 2:30 mark for the first time in her career, 2:29.04, and she'll be looking to set the benchmark higher and higher as she progresses through her career.
Yeah, thank you very much, Jonathan. Fantastic swim there from the swimmer again, and it almost bears repeating at this point, because we've seen 3 days of swimming now, 3 days of competition, and everyone is absolutely flying.
Yep.
Fantastic stuff. And few people have flown quicker, certainly on their back, than the fellow we're about to speak to, Luke Greenbank, the winner in the 200 and now the 100 as well. And delighted to say Luke joins us from the poolside right now. Luke, first of all, big congratulations. A couple of fantastic swims for you, especially tonight. How do those feel?
Yeah, it's really good. I'm really happy to get some PBs under my belt and be back to my best, so yeah, really pleased.
Yeah, I could see you were really happy at the end of that touch, 50.88. Did you expect to go 50 today?
After the heats, I was kind of pushing for that a little bit. but I wasn't thinking about it too much. I just wanted to go in and swim my best. So yeah, I'm really pleased with the outcome.
I just had to ask, because Thomas Howdle took the 50-metre title and you took the 200, so that 100 right in the middle, do you kind of feel a little bit of pressure going into this event?
Not really. I mean, I knew it was going to be a really good race between the two of us. Tom's got like amazing underwater skills and he's come through really well recently. So yeah, I was really excited to race him and just wanted to do my best, really.
Well, you've ended 2018 on a major high, Luke. We wish you all the very best for 2019 and beyond. Thank you very much, Luke Greenbank. Terrific to hear from him. A difficult start to the year for Luke, with those 2 fourths at the Commonwealth Games, which we talked about earlier with Max Litchfield, the 2 worst positions you can finish. But ending on a high is the least he can do now, and then give him a bit of a springboard into 2019, because he needs that. He has been the next backstroker for almost too long now, and is this the year when he can make the big step up?
I really hope so. He was buzzing after that race, wasn't he? You could see he was happy with that 50 point, and you could see, and he said he didn't really feel the pressure going into this race. He wanted to race Tom Howdle, and he wanted to compete against him and really test himself and push himself, and that was great to see. It just shows a real kind of hunger that he's got, and a real fight in his bones to take down that title, and it showed. He got 50.88, smashing PBs in the 200 and the 100, so great swimming.
It's worth pointing out that 50.88 is a seriously good time. It's only about 7/10 of a second off the British record from Liam Tancock. That was set all the way back in 2008, 10 years ago.
50.88. It's quick from Luke. He'll be very, very pleased. He can maybe set his targets on that British record now. It's only 0.7 of a second behind it, and he's full of confidence, isn't he? And he loves it. I was just so impressed with the race. I really thought Thomas Howdle was going to be like with him the whole way, especially with the underwater work that Luke Greenbank mentioned. But Luke was just quick off the blocks. First to 25, first to 50, first to 75, first to 100 metres, dominated the whole race.
He really was, and we've now got a fantastic final on our hands, don't we? And potentially maybe another British record under threat there. It belongs to Molly Renshaw, 2:17.98. That time for Molly, and Katie Matz might be just looking at that one potentially as well. Time that could go quicker. Kierra Smith of Canada, she goes in lane number 5, our international swimmer from the High Performance Centre in Ontario. Should be a cracking race, this one. 200 metres breaststroke. Katie Matz is leading it through into the final. But what does Kierra Smith have in response? Or will there be a surprise from the outside lanes? Let's find out with Jonathan.
Kierra Smith certainly is capable of swimming well below 220, a PB 218.3, but the fact that her heat time this morning was almost 5 seconds slower, but still a season's best, shows you that she's not quite at it, the 24-year-old, and chance for Katie Matz and the like to really grab this by the scruff of the neck and finish above her.
Yeah, it'd be nice for Katie Matz to win the gold here. That'll be in her mind. No doubt she's got a target time to hit, probably under 220 she wants to go, but I think for Katie Matz, if she wins the gold, I think that will almost mean more for her, because she's not quite won. She's not been in the middle of the podium yet, and it would mean a lot to her. She's got a lot of work to do, though. She's not going to have it her own way. Kierra Smith from Ontario has got this really strange technique on breaststroke, but it seems to work for her. Gives a lot of drive, this high elbow recovery. He drives the stroke forward, and also going well out there in lane 6 is Georgia Coates. She had a hell of a start, Georgia Coates, actually, representing the University of Bath. And these 3 girls are having a little scrap.
Katie Matz's time this morning was the quickest of 2018 from any British swimmer, to 21.5. Well, it's very healthy competition, this.
Yeah, Kierra Smith's personal best is 2:18.30, so some 3 seconds ahead of Katie Matz. You can see Kierra Smith starting to make moves now with 50 metres to go, pacing the race well. Sometimes when you've got, in this breaststroke event, when you've got somebody next to you, you start to rush the stroke a little bit, maybe, because you want to stay ahead or you want to catch up, and you don't want to do that in breaststroke. You want to hold the water, you want to hold that glide at the front, you don't want to overspin, otherwise you just slip through the water and you don't go anywhere. But this is a well-paced swim from Kierra Smith. She's been relaxed down that first 100, and she's really working this back 50 metres especially.
Yeah, Kierra Smith ending with a flourish here, and she's going to touch him first. It's 2:19.14. Second, Katie Matz touching in 2:20.4 PB for her, and Georgia Coates in third, another PB there of 2:21.45. PBs all around, but it just shows you how good Kierra Smith is when she wasn't even going at full tilt and she still manages to win.
Yeah, she raced that 200. She kind of just stayed just on the hip of Katie Matz for the first 100 metres, and then that second 100 she started to turn on the power, turn on the pace, especially down that last 25. She revved up and pulled away to take down the victory in 2:19.14. Katie Matz will get the gold medal actually for the British women. Kierra Smith will get that commemorative gold medal.
Well, it's the last individual race for the women this weekend, and the men in the not too distant future will be rounding us off as well, but they are the final results, the women's 200 metre breaststroke final.
Yeah, thank you very much, Jonathan. Tremendous race there from Kierra Smith, and almost seems fitting that in the final individual women's event we do have a strong performance from a Canadian, because they have been such brilliant swimmers all the way through this weekend, whether it's been Kierra Smith, when it's been Penny Oleksiak, or whether it's been Kayla Sanchez. They've all been utterly magnificent in so many different events.
Yeah, well-paced swim from Kierra Smith. It was almost like she was playing games with Katie Matz. A little bit down the first 100, she was kind of going with Katie and staying at the same pace, and you could see at the 100 metre mark she really started to turn on the gas, she really started to turn on the power in her stroke, especially down that last 25 metres she revved it up and pulled away from Katie Matz to take the victory in 2:19, and it's maybe something that Katie can have a little look at the race and work on her tactics as well. But it's a gold medal as well for Katie Matz. She will take the gold for the British ladies, which means a lot to Katie.
Yeah, of course, the national title is never to be sniffed
and a
at.
personal best time for Katie Matz as well. Yeah, I mean, she went 2:20, personal best time, gold medal. Great.
Can't complain too much, hey?
Absolutely.
Which is what we like. The medal ceremony is just getting underway behind us. We're going to be presenting medals first of all in men's 100 metre backstroke, I believe, or maybe the girls. We'll just wait and see what they decide to do here in the venue. It is going to be the girls who are on first, and it's actually going to be the women's 200 metre freestyle, and this is where we get to do our thing where we talk about Kayla Sanchez, because we cannot stress this enough. A fourth world junior record.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy, isn't it? Yeah, she just doesn't seem to let up, does she? Busy weekend, busy, and she just looked fresh as a daisy, didn't she?
And a lot of different events as well.
Yeah, and lots of sprint events, which can burn the legs. And look, they're laughing with all the British girls behind the block. She's just loving every minute. She mentioned that she came here last year, and this year she felt a lot more comfortable, a lot more at ease, at home in some ways, coming back here. And it shows in abundance. She's just constantly got a smile on her face. Yeah, I mean, yeah, praise all round.
Megan Barnes picking up the junior bronze. Honey Osrin there on the right of your shot. The junior silver, another medal for Honey Osrin. She's been magnificent throughout the course of this week. The bronze went to Georgia Coates in the overall. She wasn't there to pick up a medal. Holly Hibbert certainly is. She gets the silver overall in this one. The junior gold is going to Betsy Wizard. This is not her first of the meet either. The 15-year-old from Northampton has been a regular on this podium and in the finals as well. She has got a very bright future indeed. And what a fantastic swimmer this young woman is. Kayla Sanchez, 17 years of age, a world junior record. Her fourth of a 3-day meet.
Not bad.
Marie Wattel gets the national title, the Loughborough swimmer, and we've got to talk about Marie Wattel here because she's not come from nowhere. That would be a little bit too disrespectful, but she's been absolutely phenomenal this weekend in a lot of events.
She has, yeah, one of the 100 metres butterfly, and now she's picked up the gold in the 200 metres freestyle. Yeah, great week. I mean, she's built like a swimmer, isn't she? She's tall. She's got these long arms, long legs, and she doesn't have to reach far down to pick up that trophy, does she either? So, yeah, very classy swimmer. Technically, very, very gifted as well. I really like her butterfly. and I'm looking forward to seeing her push on and compete at the trials next year in April for the Worlds.
Could make a claim, couldn't she?
I hope so. Yeah, I hope so. If she keeps this momentum going and keeps this this technical skill that she's got going on, and transfers that into a training, which I'm sure she is. I'm sure she's working on. She'll have the trials in her sights now. She'll have her trials in her sights in April, and she'll be wanting to transfer this classy swimming in the short course into the long course.
Yeah, and ultimately long course for a swimmer built like her, it really should play into her hands because she gets to use that long stroke to full effect, right?
Yeah, well, she's got great turns as well. She has got great start, great turns, great underwater work. Yeah, I mean, she's kind of unknown. I mean, this could be her breakthrough year as well. You know, it's a year can make a big difference for a swimmer, and we're gonna have to wait and see. We have to wait and see till trials. It's very hard to predict, but I'm really hoping she can do it.
Yeah, we'd love to see it. 21 years of age, Marie Wattel. As we say, not really seen a huge amount of her on the national scene until really this weekend. So we're excited to see what she can do in the future, and if she can start to push those freestyles and flies into the national level, then we've got a very exciting swimmer on our hands indeed. Medals going away here in the men's 100 metres, or 200 metre freestyle, I should say. Junior medals going to Daniel Genkas of Romford Town, who performed fantastically. He won a couple of events this morning. Won his heat, if you remember, in the 400 IM and the 200 free in the next event afterwards.
Yes.
Absolute maniac of a swimmer this morning.
Yeah, he got his face on the big screen a lot this morning. The young man.
And junior silver going to Jacob Whittle of Devenshow Excel. And the senior bronze going to Kyle Chisholm. And there's a commemorative silver actually going to Jordan Sloan, who I think assumed he was getting a bronze. Just had to make a quick shift across the podium to pick up a silver.
Yeah, you got a silver, mate. Promotion.
Callum Jarvis is getting a silver medal as well. Good to see Callum Jarvis still swimming at a pretty high national level. He was a little bit above that once upon a time, but really good to see him still going.
Yeah, he's a big lad, Callum. He's got huge muscles. He's a big, strong lad. So sometimes if you're in heavy training for the bigger, more powerful swimmers, that can, they need that rest to swim really, really quick.
Edward Mildred, another gold medal. I don't know where he's going to put all these. Absolutely terrific for the youngster from Northampton.
Yeah,
it's a commemorative gold medal to Jack McMillan from Bangor, there on the right of your shot. And the national title going to go to Jay Lelliott. And nice to see Jay on the podium here. He's a swimmer with such range, can go up to 15, can swim 100 metre backstroke, 200, 400, 800, doesn't really matter to him, such a versatile swimmer, and great to see him on the podium here at City of Sheffield. Was for so long part of the setup down at Bath, and since moved to the City of Sheffield in the last 18 months or so, and seems to be really enjoying his swimming.
Absolutely. All in red.
Gets a trophy for his efforts as well, which is nice. I think these swimmers get to keep these trophies, and if they do, Edward Mildred, I really don't know where he's going to put them because he's got quite a few now.
And you can guess that he's got more at home as well. I bet his mum and dad are getting sick of it, really.
I bet it's not him who polishes them, put it that way.
Yeah, I bet, he just says, yeah, mum, here's another one, put it somewhere safe.
I'm sure if they're not here, they'll be watching at home, very proud.
A big shout out to Edward Mildred real quick, because he has been on the middle of the podium for the junior category as well.
Seems every ceremony you look up and there he is.
Yeah, 150.05 for a 15-year-old short course is sensational. So he'll be looking to progress to national age groups next year, and then European juniors will be right round the corner as well for this young man, and that's an important part of the stepping stones that it takes to progress to the senior level. So
yeah, it certainly is.
And keeps swimming the way he is, keeps training hard. Can only be good things for the young man from Northampton.
And speaking of our superb younger swimmers, we're about to see another junior bronze medal go the way of Honey Osrin from Plymouth Leander. She's been getting them of all colours, really. And Honey Osrin, terrific again, with another bronze medal there in the junior category. There's going to be a commemorative bronze to Hanna Henderson, who's one of the younger members of that Canadian team, still just 16, which is the same age Kayla Sanchez was when she came over last year. And we've seen the sort of development that she's made in a year, and Hanna Henderson will be looking at that as with Kayla as her teammate, thinking, well, if you can do it, I mean that's the same path I want to tread.
Sure, yeah. Except the freestyle route, she's going to try the backstroke route.
And
yeah, no, she's obviously got some great training. She's got Oleksiak as well, hasn't she, to look up to. Sanchez to look up to. She's got some great partners to train with and race with.
Lily Bosley picking up the Open bronze medal in that one. Silver goes to Chloe Golding there for City of Manchester Aquatics. This is Leah Whitaker picking up the junior gold for Ealing. And then the overall golds, well deserved, going to Jessica Fullalove from Bath University. And a big smile on the face of Jessica as well. I think she's enjoyed herself over this meet. It seems to be some steps towards getting back to her best after that injury she mentioned during the summer.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, she's had that injury, and she was really happy with the race, wasn't she? She was very, very pleased. I thought she swam it excellently. She had that controlled that first 50, like she said, and then hit that second 50 really, really hard, and it was great to see. I mean, it's when a swimmer gets their pacing right and they get their tactics right and they get a big best time like that, it's a really, really great feeling, and it's kind of a relief as well, actually, to do that, you know, because you swim thousands and thousands of meters and you lift hundreds and hundreds of weights, and to come to a competition and it not go right can be a little bit heartbreaking. But for Jessica Fullalove, she's come here and in her best event, she's nailed her tactics, done her best time. It's a big, big relief. She can put her head on a pillow tonight and think, oh, I did it.
Back in the pool tomorrow for training.
Yeah, because she's got to be up at R5, yeah.
Okay, the next presentation is for the men's 100-metre backstroke. We see Jay Lelliott back out here to pick up his bronze medal in this event. Mentioned his versatility as a swimmer. It wasn't far from personal best for him, actually. 51.9 is very, very quick. In fact, just double checking there, I think that might have been a personal best for him. Yeah, it was, by 400ths of a second. And he's not one of the younger swimmers, shall we say, Jay Lelliott. He's been around a little while on the senior scene. He'll be delighted to break that personal best, I'd imagine.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, he's giving thumbs up. He's giving the big smiles. Yeah, representing the city of Sheffield, and red trunks and a red top. Here's Tom Howdle, 50-metre champion. So he's had a good week, actually. PBs all round for Tom Howdle, and a national title. So he'll be really, really pleased. Yes. This young lad has been a breath of fresh air as well this week, hasn't he?
Yeah, Ruben Visder.
Yeah, Ruben Visder.
For City of Sheffield getting the junior gold. It was Nick Skelton getting the junior silver, and he's got pinned on that podium plenty of times as well. And a big shout out to Luke Greenbank here. Really, really hoping, aren't we, that next year can be his year.
Yeah, come on, Luke, let's go. Let's do it.
It could be huge for him. And he'll know that as well within himself, that the next couple of years could really essentially make or break his international swimming career. At that sort of level, that's the ruthlessness of the sport. That is exactly how this sport demands that you have to take it. And the World Championships next year in Gwangju in South Korea, the Olympics the next year in Tokyo. He's hoping to get a couple of big stamps on his passport.
I hope so, yeah. I mean, he's just got to get back in the pool, get back in training. He's keen and he's hungry to crack on. And he was another one, like the previous swim with Jessica Fullalove. She nailed her tactics, and Luke right down there did exactly the same thing. I thought he might be feeling a bit of pressure racing next to Tom Howdle. That's kind of why I asked the question, but he seemed really relaxed. He seemed excited to get in the pool and almost prove a point, and he did it. He did it perfect.
As we've said all weekend, happy swimmer equals the faster, and he seems to be very relaxed and very happy with where he is at the moment, which can only bode well for next year for Luke Greenbank, the former Cockermouth, now Loughborough University swimmer. It's almost time to head back to the racing. Our next event is the men's 200 metres breaststroke. We were going to see James Wilby in the A final of this one, but he's headed off to BBC Sports Personality of the Year after his fantastic year in the pool, the Commonwealth champion. He was on to do the hat-trick of breaststroke as well, and this being his best event, you absolutely would not have bet against him. So a shame that James won't be joining us for the senior final here in this one, but we have a good few swimmers nevertheless as well. Edward Baxter headlines the A final. Before that, though, it is the B final, the best of the rest, and 5 going in this one with Matthew Rogers the quickest through this morning. It's over to our race commentator, Jonathan Bell.
Thanks, Steve. Yeah, there are not many of the rest for this one, just the 5 swimmers taking part in the B final. Of course, one of the swimmers that would have taken part in this has been moved to the A final with the absence of James Wilby in that next race, but this is the penultimate individual event of the weekend. And don't forget, what we've got coming up, of course, is the relay with the women's and the men's, and afterwards, of course, we've got the Challenge 68, just when I think we've maybe about recovered from the heats earlier on today.
Interesting. Very interesting. Yeah, the Challenge 68 threw a few people off, didn't it? A few disqualifications, one swimmer doing the wrong stroke. I won't mind seeing a bit more drama later. Makes it a little bit more fun. And there's prize money up for grabs as well, right before Christmas. And how happy were they getting those checks before you could see the massive smiles on the faces, and yeah, looking forward to that. But we're here for the B final of the men's 200 metres breaststroke.
Yeah, and in all seriousness, look at lane 6 here. William Ellington, the youngest in the pool, the only senior swimmer, the last junior swimmer we're going to see race this weekend. Wouldn't be fitting if he ended it with a junior English record. No pressure there, but 2:16.74 is the time, and the time he got earlier on today was just over half a second behind it.
Oh, now's the time. And you know what, to be fair to everyone swimming here, most people have improved from the heats into the final, so if the form book stays the same, hopefully William Ellington from Millfield School can drop that 0.6 or 7 that he needs to break that junior record.
Yeah, how quick can he do this final 50 metres here? He's going to have to do it in around 36 seconds. So maybe a bit out of reach, and you can see that the swimmers just to the left of him are progressing in front, which tells you he's maybe not as strong right now as he started the race in.
Yeah, it's going to be close. Yeah, it's going to be really, really close. I don't think he's going to quite make... He might. It's going to be close. So what was the time he's got to get?
2:16.74.
He's going to be so close. He's actually finishing really strong in the green hat up there in lane number 6. There's 2:14, 2:15, 2:16.78.
400ths outside.
Wow.
William Ellington there, finishing outside the top 3 as well. We're currently focusing here on Joshua Pemberton, who won the race, 2:15.4. Exhausting stuff for him, but he's got a PB by over a second. Matthew Rogers as well on 2:15.65, getting second spot. Not a PB for him, but I mean, our focus after that one, James, is on William Ellington of Millfield. He finishes 4th, 2:16.78, 400th outside the English junior record.
So close, so close. William Ellington, unlucky mate. Still a big personal best. It's made him the second fastest junior of all time. So he can't be too... Yeah, he can be displeased. He can be disappointed with it, and I won't be surprised if he was. But that'll make him hungry. That'll make him hungry to come back and do it next time.
Yeah, so very unfortunate indeed there, William Ellington. It would have been a fitting way to finish the junior programme had he managed to get the English junior record there, but that will be there to be sought after in 2019, no doubt. Now, here we go with the individual men's finale, the men's 200-metre breaststroke A Final. And we've had so many great races over the course of the weekend. Will this be a fitting end, I wonder?
No, James, will be. This equals gold medal opportunities for everybody else. Edward Baxter in lane 4, 2:09.17 this morning. That was a personal best and a season's best. In lane 5, Adam Chillingworth from Plymouth Leander Swimming Club, 2:09.92. That's pretty much right on his best time as well. So it looks like these two boys about 2 seconds ahead of the rest of the field in lanes 4 and 5. So you'd expect a little ding-dong battle between these two. Be interested to see the pacing. There is Adam Chillingworth. And here comes Edward Baxter, looking very focused, wearing his headphones. Very serious, all in black. Goggles already on, ready to rumble. It's funny when you, Jono, when you come out last, you're in lane 4, you're the fastest qualifier. Means you take your clothes off last, and sometimes you can get the urge to rush a little bit because everyone's waiting but you need to take your time. You're the fastest qualifier. You can see he's just rushing, taking his clothes off a little bit there, Edward Baxter. I'd like to see him just relax a little bit more. You're the fastest qualifier, mate. You do your time. Nobody rushes you. You're the fastest man. This is your final.
Yeah, chucking his closer in the buckets filled with tinsel there, Edward Baxter. Quickest in qualification, but doesn't always have to be the quickest to get changed.
No, it's just a big difference with James Guy the other night. I saw him, he was so slow taking his stuff off. That's experience for you. He knows that no one's going to rush him. No referee's going to come over and say, hey, you need to speed up taking your clothes off, because first off, it was James's final. You're the fastest qualifier, so let's move on. Great start up there from lane. Hey, David Murphy for City of Oxford. I saw him get a good start actually in the heats this morning. Same thing, he gets a lightning start off the blocks.
Well, he's in the top 10 fastest British swimmers from this year. David Murphy, the 8th fastest actually, with a time of 2:12.73 recorded in Portsmouth a month ago. The fastest this year out of those swimmers in the pool is Adam Chillingworth, the 2nd fastest Englishman from 2018, a time of 2:09.80 set here in Sheffield last month. But yeah, already this one very much dispersed, with Edward Baxter and David Murphy doing a lot of the hard work at the front, and also Oliver Crosby in lane 0 for City of Sheffield.
Yeah. We're seeing some different tactics in a lot of different events tonight, and Edward Baxter's going out strong. Will he pay for it down the back 100 metres? And I've got a feeling Adam Chillingworth is relaxing a little bit more down the first 100, and he's going to come back stronger. So let's see how this race develops. At the halfway point, it is Baxter, 1:0.82, just ahead of the swimmer from City of Oxford, David Murphy, out there in lane 8, and then in third, Adam Chillingworth in lane number 5. Still looking strong though is Edward Baxter, with that black hat and black shorts in the centre of the pool. Is Adam Chillingworth starting to maybe creep up a little bit? Jono's giving me a little nod, he thinks so as well. Has Adam Chillingworth left too much to do though? Does look like Edward Baxter starting to tie up maybe a little bit. He does look strong though, Edward Baxter. He looks in good shape behind the block, didn't he? He looks strong, he looks powerful, and he's done enough to win this, I think. Chillingworth starting to make a late comeback, but it is too little too late. 2:06.93 for Edward Baxter. That is a huge personal best time by a good 2.5 seconds. 2.2 seconds. Adam Chillingworth, 2:07.84. That's a personal best time for him as well. And coming in lane number 3, coming back really strong, was Mackie Champion from the City of Oxford. 2:10.40. That's nearly a second shaved off his time as well. So the top 3 with personal best times. And Edward Baxter saluting his crowd, for he is the short course national champion.
Yeah, I certainly felt that one, and you know it's been the end of a tiring weekend. We look at the expression of the 2 guys' faces there, Edward Baxter and Toby Mackay champion as well. 1st and 3rd respectively, with Adam Chillingworth in the middle of them. That rounds off the individual events for the weekend, but we still await the relays and Challenge 68, which will complete the 3rd and final day of action at the Swim England National Winter Championships 2018 at the Ponds Forge International Sports Centre in Sheffield. Make sure you don't go anywhere.
Yeah, thank you very much, Jonathan. Tremendous stuff from the individual races once again, and welcome back to the studio up in here at Ponds Forge. James, we've seen some fantastic races individually, but now we're going to see some real fun in the pool. We've got 2 relays that we're really looking forward to. The first of women's and then the men's 4x100 metre freestyle relays. The women's in particular could be a cracker, as we see the Ontario girls take on the Loughborough team, take on the Hamilton team, take on the team who qualified first, Mount Kelly.
Mount Kelly, so impressed with Mount Kelly this weekend. So big shout out to all you guys. Keep training hard. Well done. Awesome, especially the ladies who we've got here. Fastest qualifiers into the final. It's going to be tough with the Ontario girls, I think. I think they saved a couple of ladies in the heats for the final. I think we're going to see Sanchez come in. Obviously, this world junior record holder.
And they've got the Olympic 100-metre freestyle champion.
Yeah, and they've got the 100 freestyle champion. They're going to be really difficult to beat, but it's such a great challenge for Mount Kelly, and let's not rule out Loughborough as well, and Hamilton.
Yeah, what a race this is for Loughborough. So long at national level at relays, they know they're going to be almost uncontested when they put the big guns in.
Yeah.
Might not have it all their own way in this one, however. The men's that we're expecting to be fireworks as well. But then we've got Challenge 68.
Yes.
What a final. If you missed it earlier, you really did miss some incredible swimming, and it's a knockout style game mechanics as well. The randomness of it, the way it was taken by the swimmers, it seems to have gone down very, very well in these early stages. And then we've got another 140 quid to give away, another final.
That's it. It really does add a bit of spice to the event, this prize money, and it's £140. And for a lot of these swimmers who will be around about the 16, 17, 18-year-old marker, that's a little bit of cash before Christmas, right? You know, same before, that's your brother or sister's Christmas present, your mum's Christmas present. Done. Job sorted.
And here come the team. Lane 2 for the Ontario team. That is one lane to watch out for. It's certainly Hamilton UAE have been excellent all weekends, and we see Marie Wattel there lining up for the Loughborough team. She's going to be dangerous wherever she lines up in this relay.
Yeah, the Loughborough swimmers have added a couple of swimmers, haven't they? The Ontario girls have added a couple. The Mount Kelly girls, have they added anybody in? I'm not so sure, but you know what? They went for it in the heats. They wanted that middle lane for the final, and fair play to them. I'm secretly cheering for these Mount Kelly girls.
Not a secret anymore. Anyway, we've got a fantastic race on our hands here. The women's 4x1 freestyle. This should be a belter. Cannot wait for this one. Jonathan Bell, it's over to you.
Always a Christmas cracker to end the Winter Championship meet. And, well, a couple of maybe dark horses in there as well. The likes of Wrexham. I don't think anyone was expecting them to get into this final. They were in the first of the two heats earlier on this morning. They're definitely out of contention for a medal if you base their entry time on anything. But the fact that, and we said this last night actually, James, you've got a small team like Wrexham, not really had any individual swimmers from them over the course of the week, but they've got 4 swimmers together to compete against some of the best in the country, and when you're looking internationally as well at the Ontario team in the world.
It's a great opportunity, isn't it, to dive in the pool and race against some of the best. Penny Oleksiak is in the water, the 100-metre freestyle Olympic gold medalist. Is looking strong. Marie Wattel is a superb sprinter, and she's staying with her. It's going to be, by the looks of it, between Ontario and Loughborough. Mount Kelly in third at the minute, and look at the gap between each club already. It's pretty huge.
One thing worth adding as well, as ever, the lanes are seeded in terms of the heat times this morning, but the fact that Ontario are in 2 and Loughborough are in 5 demonstrates that you can change a bit of personnel. Things can alter from the morning session to really bolster yourself if you've got a strong enough squad. Loughborough certainly have for the evening session.
Yeah, this is it. And Ontario have proven that right now, because they are streaking ahead. Nice takeovers as well. That was, of course, Kayla Sanchez taking over. So they've had the Olympic champion in the first leg, the world junior record holder in the second leg. No wonder they're this far ahead. 10 metres now. It's something special to watch, isn't it? Some of the swimmers haven't even got time to get out. They have to kind of hover by the lane rope and not get in the way of the swimmers.
Well, the rest of the pool here just battling for what would be an English silver and an English bronze, because as it stands, HPC Ontario would be getting the commemorative gold medal.
Yeah.
Loughborough getting the English gold, and then behind them, currently it stands with Mount Kelly. Then you've got Hamilton, who would be missing out on a commemorative medal. So then you've got Nova Centurion, who've got the opportunity as well. So there are still medals on offer here for those lingering at the back, and well, they're certainly giving it a good go, scurrying towards the front.
Yeah, there's a couple of teams that are pretty close. Lanes 3 and 4, Hamilton, UAE and Mount Kelly. Just half a second separating those two at the minute in third and fourth place. So they're going to have a little scrap down this final leg and pick up a better medal. Mount Kelly are having a great last leg here. They've saved the super sprinter on the last leg, but Superior here, Superior Ontario, the HPC from Canada. HPC stands for the High Performance Centre. Cruising home, no problem. 3:30.08 commemorative gold for HPC Ontario.
Yeah, very much a high performance from them there as well. 3:51.18 was the time they got earlier. 3:30.08 now. Loughborough then have got the English gold. Mount Kelly English silver. Credit to them how they've defeated Hamilton there. You touched on it as well there, James, during the race. Hamilton missed out on a medal completely, and then the English bronze will go to Nova Centurion, who have managed to oust City of Peterborough and City of Milton Keynes at the back of the pool. But once again, it's the Maple Leaves of HPC Ontario who have managed to get another gold medal to their account.
There are the official results up on the screen for you guys. HPC Ontario, Loughborough University, Mount Kelly, Hamilton Aquatics, Nova Centurion, City of Peterborough and the City of Milton Keynes are your top 7.
Yeah, we've got the men's to come just after this as well, and that could be a lot closer with again Loughborough in the pool, but up against Plymouth Leander. And I mean, every relay is different, but it does seem to be those two in the men's event that once again keep locking horns and giving us some great races.
Yeah, that's it. I want to give a big shout out to East Leeds as well. Name East Leeds, Club East Leeds on our screen, and it's we're having a little chat with their coach today. They're basically just 4 lads who do their own training. They don't have a coach. One of the swimmers came down yesterday for the relay. He finished work at 5 o'clock in Manchester, drove over just to swim in the relay. And these guys are just master swimmers who like to train, have a bit of fun. Look at these boys here from Hackney. Why not? They've got the pumping tunes in the background. They're at the Winter Short Course National Championships in a final. Give it the big 'un, boys. That's what we like to see.
Now the Centurion a bit more focused as they come out.
A bit more serious, yeah. Troutness are some boys on tour as well. That's Hamilton Aquatics. That's Plymouth Leander right there.
Yeah, certainly going to move on here and get these teams out.
These lead boys. You can see they go in the gym, can't you? They may only train a few times a week in the pool, but there's no doubt they're in the gym more than a few times. With pecs and abs like that. They don't just spring out of nowhere.
Well, they must have a bit of belief here. 3:21.86 is the time they got early. We'd expect quicker from Loughborough and Plymouth Leander in this final, but always that shout of a bronze. Bangor and Hamilton will be hoping for a commemorative medal.
East Leeds are going for a medal, no doubt about it. I mean, it's Loughborough Universities for sure. Well, I mean, not for sure, but you know, there could be something tricky or something unusual could happen. I don't want to jinx anything. But East Leeds, if they put the race of their lives together as a team with great takeovers, giving it their heart and soul, they could win a national medal, which for East Leeds Swimming Club would be unbelievable.
Oh, what a merry trip up the M1 that would be if East Leeds managed to do that tonight. It's Loughborough University getting off to the decent start. To their left they have Plymouth Leander, and to their right East Leeds down there in the golden lanes.
Yeah, I don't think East Leeds would be going up the N1. I think they'd be staying here in Sheffield and hitting the town if they get this medal. And who could blame them? Looking good so far, aren't they, East Leeds? It is Loughborough University, as you would expect. Then it's Bangor, actually, our Irish boys, and then East Leeds in third. 50.01 for the East Leeds man. That's quick. It's quicker than he went this morning.
by a trio. Nearest
James Oxborough went in first, 49.07 for Loughborough.
5, 3 and 2, and that is East Leeds.
And as you can see, Loughborough supreme and dominant in this relay. Bangor in lane 2, they're looking good as well.
Top 5 all well in the mix, aren't they? East Leeds still in there with an opportunity. Just got to keep it going really now.
Yeah, the second swimmer for East Leeds is struggling a little bit, maybe catching some waves from the Loughborough swimmer. They need a big third and fourth leg in this relay. Hamilton UAE going well over in lane 6. You can see them in their orange and black hat. Plymouth and still going well. Tell you what, Bangor are 0.4 of a second behind Loughborough here. At one point, Loughborough University were way ahead, but Bangor are pretty much drawn level and maybe 0.2 or 0.3 of a second behind. Good turn from the Bangor swimmer there. If anything, that's put him back in the lead.
Well, this is a massive final change coming up here. Bangor get this right, they're well in contention. Loughborough may be running scared a wee bit.
The lead has changed. Bangor are now ahead 0.39 of a second in front of Loughborough, so barely anything in it with 100 metres to go. They turn almost identically at the 25 metre point for this last leg. Good turn again from the Bangor boy. This is going to be a hell of a last 50 metres. Here they go, they turn. 12 100ths of a second separate the two. It is still just the Bangor boys though. And this is going to be a hell of a last 50 metres. Can the boys from Bangor Island do this?
Well, this is a thrilling finish to this one here, and it's so hard to tell the gap between Loughborough and Bangor as they go towards this final stretch. What a great way to end the regular racing here for the weekend. Coming in, Bangor have done it 3:14.25. Less than half a second in it. Loughborough second, 3:14.71. They have not been used to that in the relays this week, that is for sure. And Plymouth Leander prop up the top 3 with a time of 3:19.58. But what a sensational relay that was. Definitely saving the best till last there. And Bangor will make the trip back over the Irish Seas. Delighted they have managed to topple Loughborough, who have been so dominant in the relay over the course of the weekend. Fantastic stuff here. Bangor the winners. They will get the commemorative gold medal for the men's 4x100 freestyle relay.
Absolutely incredible from Bangor. 3:14.25, and they have toppled the mighty Loughborough University. That is I can't remember the last time Loughborough were beaten in 2 national finals and relays. Admittedly, it's taken 2 international teams to do it, but I mean, this is fantastic. This is what we want to see. We want to see our best national swimmers tested to their limit, and they were second best, some very good swimmers tonight, and they will only improve for that, but great entertainment for us as well.
Yeah, what a race. This is why relays are so entertaining, especially when it's close like this. You could just hear the buzz and the vibe in this arena, especially from the swimmers that we've got behind us here. You could hear all sorts going on. Congratulations to Bangor Island. Fantastic swim. Not easy to beat Loughborough. They've got that strength and depth in their team, and all credit to the Bangor boys. They thoroughly deserve it. Yeah, they had 2 swimmers who were first and second, I think, in the 200 free final, weren't they? Jordan Sloan and Jack McMillan. Never going to harm you in a relay at the end of the night either. Well, we've got one more event to bring you, ladies and gentlemen, and boy, are we excited. It's Challenge 68 time. If you haven't seen this before, if you missed it at the start of the night, well, you're in for a treat. It's a knockout meets swimming. It's a 4x50 metre relay. The teams have qualified from 2 semi-finals earlier on tonight. Only one knows what they are swimming. It's a mixed relay, 2 boys, 2 girls. The first is backstroke. The rest will be drawn poolside before the start of the event. And this is almost a ceremony we didn't expect to really have that much of an impact, but you see the reaction on poolside from the swimmers when
two breaststrokes get drawn, the groans, and some are cheering, some are groaning. It's theatre, isn't it?
Yeah, for those that didn't watch the fight, it was at the start of the final session. There were our heats, weren't there? 2 heats, and there were groans, especially with the freestylers that got drew. There was a lot of breaststroke drawn out, wasn't there? Out of the box that Laura will do very soon. And there's so many. It was like half the swimmers cheered like, yes, I got a breaststroke, and the half of them were like, oh, we've got our breaststroke. And we saw disqualifications all over the place. We saw one of the lads do the wrong stroke. So drama absolutely everywhere. I'm kind of hoping for the same thing really in this final. With some money up for grabs as well. And you could see as some of the winning teams came down to collect their check, they were buzzing to get that money.
They were indeed, and well, this is the final race of the meet. It seems fitting that we've had so much fun at this event. We've seen so many quick times, and it has been taken very seriously, but we end it with a bit of a blowout. We called this event right on day number 1, a bit of a blowout before Christmas. Yep. Let's see what we can do, and there's no better race to do it in than this one. The finalists are as follows: Nova Centurion, Hamilton Aquatics B, Mount Kelly, Northampton, Mount Kelly B, who won the first heat. City of Milton Keynes won the second in lane 5. Hamilton Aquatics, Deventio Excel, City of Peterborough, and City of Milton Keynes B. The swimmers are all down on the poolside. Now they just need to know what they are swimming, and for that we head poolside to Laura Winter.
And this is the climax of it all. Challenge 68, it's the grand final of this totally bonkers brand new event from Swim England, and I can't wait for this. It was carnage in the heats. I'm expecting more mayhem in the final. So backstroke is set, and we're now going to decide the order for the remainder of the relay. Leg 2, what's it going to be? Breaststroke. Cheers and groans alike from the swimmers, I love it. Leg number 3, freestyle. Yes, come on. And leg number 4, the anchor leg to bring it all home, is breaststroke. This is going to be utter mayhem. Over to you at the final.
Thank you very much, Laura. Wowee. I'm not sure there's any fly in there. We've brought out so many breaststroke. It's been incredible. Admittedly, there was some cheers for the first breaststroke. Majority cheers for you groans. For the second one, it was mostly groans, wasn't it? It's going to make for a brilliant race. We can't wait for this. Who is going to take home the win? Who's going to round off this brilliant championships in the most style? We're about to find out. Let's head to our race commentator. For the final time this championships, it's Jonathan Bell.
Thank you very much, Steve. Challenge 68 then, the final of it, and this is the exact same lineup of strokes that we had in the first heat. So those teams that are around for that, well, this may well suit them if they haven't changed their starting 4 and the order in which they are going in. Mount Kelly B, of course, were the team that won that, and they start in lane 4. They've already got 140 quid in the back pocket. City of Milton Keynes joining them in terms of the welfare. And both of them, well, far apart from each other early on. It's Mount Kelly B alongside Northampton in lane 3. And, I mean, the odds of this actually happening, James, of having 2 races, heat 1 and now the final, the exact same strokes in order, it must suit those that went first.
You would think so, but we love the bit of breaststroke, don't we, eh? Let's go, breaststroke all the way. And what a swim going on here. Mount Kelly are absolutely storming ahead. Yeah, backstroke, breaststroke, freestyle, breaststroke. Let's hope nobody does the wrong stroke on any of them this time. And it should suit Mount Kelly down to a T. This, and you can see they are storming away with this. Can anything change? There's a good finish coming in. This is, who's in lane 1 there? Hamilton UAE. They're starting to make waves. Let's have a look. Breaststroke down the last 50. Lane 2 is Mount Kelly again. They've got a male swimmer on breaststroke. Mount Kelly in the middle have got a female on breaststroke. So, and she doesn't look like a breaststroker. This boy in lane 2 for Mount Kelly looks like a breaststroker. We could have a Mount Kelly 1-2 here, which would be absolutely phenomenal, because I've been giving them praise all weekend, and I've been cheering them on, and I've secretly, or not so secretly, been supporting them, and it would be fantastic for them to get a 1-2 here. Mount Kelly win the gold, Mount Kelly win the silver, and Deventio having a great finish out over there in lane number 7. Mount Kelly, you are triumphant, and you are going to take the check home for £140.
So another check for Mount Kelly then. Mount Kelly B managing it in the first heat and Mount Kelly A managing it in the final. So everyone will be happy on the coach back home, I'm sure, tonight.
What are the odds that they're going to share that money?
Well,
I wouldn't share it, would you? I wouldn't share it with me. Do you reckon the Mount Kelly that won the gold will share it with the Mount Kelly that won the silver? Nah. Jono's shaking his head as well. Would you share it, Jono?
Well, there's not a question about that, James. I do think Mount Kelly B managing to get the £140 earlier on will satisfy them enough. But, I mean, what a great event, James. Yeah. Looking back, that's what you need at the end of a tense weekend like this. Bit of fun at the end. Absolutely. And everyone's got a smile on their faces.
Absolutely, and you can look at them all smiling, laughing, hugging each other. And congratulations to Mount Kelly. Fantastic weekend they've had. Finishing off perfectly with this Challenge 68.
Well, we'll be having a chat very shortly to Mount Kelly after that. I'm sure they'll be absolutely exhausted by that. And I mean, the unpredictable nature of it all. Mount Kelly B was so far ahead, weren't they, going into the last change? And I think for Mount Kelly A, it was Sam Daly on the breaststroke at the end there, who's clawed it back completely. And Devencio weren't a million miles away towards the end either. We have to give credit to their swimmer that was finishing off for them, Bethan Thomas. But overall, it is Mount Kelly that have managed to win the Challenge 68, the inaugural Challenge 68, 2018 here at the Swim England National Winter Championships. And they're just catching their breath back at the moment before they will be having a chinwag with Laura Winter, and also the presentation as well for that, because we can't forget our top three. Devencio XL in third spot, Mount Kelly B in second, and Mount Kelly A in first position.
Well, here we are. We have got some very happy, smiling swimmers. Guys, how was that? Pretty good? Some nods all around here from the swimmers. What a balmy final. We have not medals, I'd say better than medals. We have checks for you. £280 here for third place, Devencio. And the Challenge 68, second place to Mount Kelly. And the winners, £400 they've won here for an evening's work. It is Mount Kelly once again. Fantastic stuff from our swimmers here. Challenge 68, utterly bonkers, completely crazy, but a whole lot of fun. Well done to you swimmers, Devencio and Mount Kelly. That was Challenge 68.
Well, there goes Challenge 68. We must remember to thank them. What an event. That was incredible. And what was sort of underplayed was those guys who won it, 100 quid each.
400 quid. I thought it was 140 quid again. I must have missed the memo. £400 for first. Jeez, I feel like stripping off and getting my Speedos on and getting in for 400
Now,
quid.
the reason they call it 68 is because your total has got to be, that's the age.
35. We could have done it. We could have teamed up and done some. 400 quid?
If we teamed up, we'd need an 8-year-old to swim
quid,
for
I'd
us.
be breaking the world record for 400 quid in there right now, honestly. Brilliant. Nah, well done to those guys. Really sure for Mount Kelly as well. Perfect way to finish the week. We've had a little chat about Mount Kelly all week. We just keep seeing them pop up all over the place, especially the girls' relays through the week. They've really stuck at it. They've really worked hard, and they deserve everything they've got right there.
Because quite a small club, relatively speaking, as well.
Yeah, exactly.
They're not the size of Plymouth, Leander, of Loughborough, of Sheffield, all these established massive clubs, but they produce top quality swimmers.
Yeah, it's sometimes nice to see the quote unquote smaller club beating the bigger club. It's almost like a David Goliath kind of thing, and it's nice to see. It's great to see, and what it means to these swimmers, it means a hell of a lot. It means a hell of a lot. You know, they may not get the pool time that some of these top clubs like Loughborough get. They might not get the finances and all that sort of stuff. But they've come here and they've worked hard, and they deserve absolutely everything. They deserve every single penny they get.
Yeah, they really do. Well, presentation now for the women's 200 metres breaststroke. This one was a really, really interesting race. First up, the junior bronze is going the way of Charlotte Robinson from the city of Leeds, just 15. And we saw her in the heats, if you remember this morning, and she had the biggest beaming smile on her face when she hit that PB, went even quicker again in the finals.
Looks really shy there, doesn't she? Getting a bronze medal, well deserved though. She's had a good weekend's work.
Megan Morrison getting the senior bronze for Loughborough University. So junior silver is going to Natalia Druitt from Abingdon Vale, and the senior silver round the neck of Bath University's Georgia Coates. And this was a race that was won by one of the Ontario lot. A terrific swim it was from Kierra Smith as well. She's not been quite at her peak performance throughout this meet. We know for a fact actually that she can go quicker than the time that she swam in this one, but she looks pretty pleased, that's for sure. Kierra Smith, she takes the win there, and a win for Lana Brookhoven in junior gold there on the right of his shot. Katie Matz takes the national title for Stockport Metro, 2:20.4, a personal best for Katie as well in the 200 breaststroke, in an event that she's going to try to make her own now. She's swum medleys and every event under the sun for so long as a junior, and I think now she's finally found her stroke and starting to really focus on one, and that can only help her going forward as a senior swimmer now.
Yeah, she's hammering the breaststroke at the minute, and that's what she wants to specialise in. That's what she does specialise in. She's a national champion, so she's doing something right. She just needs to find extra gear from somewhere now, long course, to make that jump and get on the British team.
Yeah, for sure. And the medals are going to come up soon for the men's 200 breaststroke. Well, let's have a little bit of a review of some of the things we've seen, not just tonight, but over the weekend. We'll start with the bonkers nature of Challenge 68.
Yeah.
Thumbs up or thumbs down from you?
I mean, I think it should be in the Olympics for me. I mean, it's love it. No, I do. I love all kind of weird, quirky little things like that, especially when there's a bit of money involved. It kind of gives it a little bit of extra spice.
Breaks it up for a swimmer as well, because it's not something you do every day. You know, when you're doing these races, you do that in training every single day, so it must be something unique. It's something to relish.
Yeah, it's, you know, I mean, going through the same events all the time is cool. We've got to go through those events, you know, because people have got targets and PBs and train for these specific events. But letting your hair down, having you know, like I say, we've had this Challenge 68 at the end of the weekend to let everyone's hair down, have a great time, have a bit of fun, boost us into the into that Christmas period, and it was, you can see the faces on the Mount Kelly swimmers, what it meant, and the fun that they've had with that. I'd love to see more of it. Never
seen a bigger smile on the faces of those who won silver, by the way, when they found out they're getting 2 checks tonight.
I thought it was just the winner that got the checks. Bronze got 240 quid, and how much did silver get?
A little bit more, I think. Yeah, around about the 300 mark. Yeah. So they actually came away with a little bit more than their teammates who won the final. But
so the ones that won got the 400, and they won the 140 before, didn't they? So that's 540.
No, the silver team won. Mount Kelly B won the first heat. So actually, Mount Kelly are absolutely quids in, both walking away with best.
Great it all. I wonder if the coaches will just be like, "Thank you very much, you guys are under 18, you can't accept those."
Edward Baxter picking up his senior gold medal. He topped out Adam Chillingworth and Toby Mackay champion in his final. The junior medal is going to Harvey Freeman, Joseph Buxton and William Ellington of Millfield. He's had a really good meet. He's been on the podium plenty of times himself.
Yeah.
And now it's time to present our relays very, very shortly. But let's just take a look back at this event, because we've seen some standout swims from some standout swimmers as well. And one of the most important ones for me, we'll start with the British, and we'll talk a little bit about Max Litchfield, because he's been superb. He's had a really difficult year, missed the Commonwealth Games with injury, which I know is a big blow for him, burned back in the European Championships, and has ended the year on such a high. 3 new PBs, the 400 free, which isn't his event, the 200 and the 400 IM as well. He's been brilliant all weekend.
Yeah, I think coming into this competition, I think that's exactly what he was wanting to do. And he nailed it. He absolutely nailed it. And he didn't have a massive amount of competition here. It was kind of just like him versus himself, wasn't it? And you could see that in his racing, in his preparation. It was kind of just him in his own little zone. And he nailed it. And to come back from a big injury like that, to work his backside off in training, you heard that from Abbie Wood, didn't you, as well? That he's a tough trainer, and not just tough on him, he's tough on his teammates as well. You know, to push them to the absolute max, to the absolute limit. great weekend for Max Litchfield.
And a word for a few of his teammates as well. We think of Imogen Clarke breaking her British record in the breaststroke as well. Superb swim. She doubled up in the breaststroke sprints, her 50 and the 100 champion as well.
Yeah. I mean, arguably the swim of the weekend, maybe. Imogen Clarke, British record. Awesome to see. She was so powerful. And in that 100 the night before, when she won the gold in the 100 metres breaststroke, she went out like a machine and just held everybody off. She just blew everyone out of the water. It was fantastic to see. Well done, Imogen Clarke. Keep it going.
And James Wilby, obviously not here tonight. He was too busy getting his glad rags on at BBC Sports Personality of the Year. We can't really begrudge him that. He's really earned it after the year he has had with the Commonwealth champions and, of course, the European medals as well. But before he left us to go and do that, he was the double champ. He was going to make it a hat-trick, let's be honest. But 50 and 100, gradually going towards his favourite event, but he won them anyway and looked so strong.
Yeah, he looks in good shape, James Wilby, doesn't he? He's got the pecs, he's got the 8-pack all the way down here. Winning the 50, winning the 100, and he probably would have won the 200 as well because that's his best event. Great year so far, and that Commonwealth Games gold medal kind of really put him up there, didn't it? You didn't really hear of James Wilby before the Commonwealth Games, not that much, did you? And then winning that Commonwealth gold medal has just put him in that stratosphere now of the top breaststroke.
Well, this event last year was his breakthrough event. It was a long course event. He swam the Commonwealth qualification time, which he wasn't really expecting, but it was his big target. Swam it and then went out to Australia and smashed it. And since then has been on such a high. And if he keeps riding the crest of a wave, he's now an established part of that international squad. World Championships next year, Olympics in Tokyo. He's openly admitted that's his long-term goal, and why not?
Yeah, he's talked about being. We talked to him about being that late bloomer, didn't we? As well, you know, and he freely admits that he wasn't doing the right things. He obviously wasn't eating the right things or doing the right things in training. And he said, I had to at one point say, I've got to get serious. And as soon as he got serious, and as soon as he knuckled down, he spent a bit of time with his technique and his hard work, he started getting the results.
He certainly did. And a word as well for Luke Greenbank, double champion in the backstroke, 100 and 200. We've spoken about him already tonight, I know. And then we talk about the youngsters, the likes of Edward Mildred, Honey Osrin, Sophie Freeman, Nick Skelton. We're going to end up forgetting some, so I don't want to put too much focus on some of them because, but in general, young swimming in this country looks so good, doesn't it?
They've been amazing this weekend. We've had British junior records.
Quite a few.
Yeah, quite a few. Yeah, Edward Mildred's got to be up there with for some of the outstanding swims for the juniors. He just seems to always be in first place, doesn't he, the young man? And
half expecting him to turn up on the podium in this relay just because he's used to it now.
He just maybe he's just kind of in auto mode. He's just doing, there's a presentation, I'm just going to stand in the middle of the podium and get the gold medal. No, the juniors have been sensational this weekend. I kind of expected the juniors to come here and aim for PBs. Yeah, because, I mean, juniors should always aim for personal best times, and they've delivered 100%.
This team getting medals here, the commemorative bronze going the way of Hamilton Aquatics in the team in the UAE. They've been excellent participants at this championships, and I'm sure they'll be welcome back at pretty much all Swim England's events. They've really added something to it, and a fantastic team of young swimmers, particularly with the girls. They've really impressed this weekend, the likes of Rosie Morgan, Emily Peck, Daniela Cogswell, and especially Victoria Diona Begale, who's picked up a few medals individually herself. This is Nova Centurion picking up the national bronze title. Polly Holden, Freya Colbert, Courtney Price and Rachel Cox. This is in the women's 4x1 freestyle team event, and a team that we have to talk about. We absolutely have to talk about. We talked about Loughborough. We have to talk about High Performance Centre Ontario. This Canadian group, magnificently impressive. Penny Oleksiak, Kayla Sanchez, Taylor Ruck and Hanna Henderson are the swimmers who get the gold in this particular relay. But Kayla Sanchez has swum 4 junior world records. That's incredible. We've only been here 3 days.
Yeah, I know. She's had such a busy schedule as well, and she's just smashed it and then smashed it and smashed it and smashed it. And it's amazing to see, and you know, the top swimmers in the world do this sort of thing. You know, just think about Michael Phelps. He goes to competitions, wins 6, 7, 8 goals, and breaks all those world records. Smashes it, smashes it, smashes it. She's this Canadian is a superstar. She can hit it and hit it and hit it and break record after record after record. And hopefully, a lot of the swimmers here at the pool and on the stream have managed to watch her and take some notes.
Got to give a bit of respect there to the Mount Kelly girls, who finished 3rd overall in this race to claim the silver medal. Macy Lawrence, Athena Clayson, Georgina Dennis and Emily Hines getting the silver medal, national title. These are the Canadian girls I mentioned. Taylor Ruck, who we've not seen a huge amount of. In fact, I think we've only really seen her in this relay from memory. Hannah Henderson, the 16-year-old on the anchor, just really following up from the work of the Olympic 100-metre freestyle champion and the world junior record holder.
Yeah, she was a little. I mean, it's kind of unknown to us, really. Well, I'm not unknown because we know she's this Olympic champion and this Olympic medalist at such a young age. I mean, in terms of this weekend, we've
slipped
not
under the
really
radar a bit,
seen. Yeah, she slipped under the radar because Sanchez was getting all the glory. You know, this Olympic superstar. Yeah, like you say, slipped under the radar, and then all of a sudden, boom! She smashes. She smashes the event tonight and absolutely destroys it. Yeah, and with the 4x1 free, she led off, didn't she? Yeah, Oleksiak in 52.14, which is just insane. And she really showed her class.
It was
tonight.
superb. Marie Wattel, Emily Crane, Emily Barkley, and Amy Grant, the 4 girls for Loughborough, getting the gold medal national level for Loughborough University. Another fantastic title for them, but they potentially will be a little bit knocked at losing a couple of relays. They get national titles all the time, Loughborough, but this was a real race for them. And interestingly, actually, with that event that we just saw the medals presented for, the women's 4x1, Loughborough staged an event recently where they had a bit of a duel in the pool, where it was Loughborough Swim versus Canada, and it was really, really interesting. A lot of swimmers taking part in that one from Loughborough and indeed from Canada.
Yeah, I wonder if that was maybe organised by Ben Titley as well, because Ben Titley used to coach at Loughborough University, Loughborough, and now he's the coach in Canada. So maybe that was a thing that they organised together. It's great to do stuff like that. I mean, why not? Why not do your own in-house little duel in the pool and get some tough racing going against some strong competitors, some strong foreign competitors. But
interestingly, Loughborough came out on top at their mini duel in the pool, a chance for the Ontario lot to maybe bloody their noses back with a response in the relay.
Oh yeah, that's it.
Here are the medalists for the men's 4x1 freestyle. These are medals for Hamilton Aquatics, Richard Kojabayev, Joseph Page, Sean McNichol and Cameron Matthews. They're going to get the commemorative bronze medal. They finished in 4th overall. It was the team from Bangor who won this one, and this was a really close race, if you remember, Jane. It was only decided by about 3 or 4 tenths of a second in the ends.
Yeah, Bangor was just superb. I mean, it was kind of like Loughborough were out ahead, and then all of a sudden Bangor were creeping, and then there and won it. It was a great swim from the Bangor boys. We hope to see them next year, and
here's your favourite team, the East Leeds guys getting their open bronze medal.
These boys.
Ben Taylor-Walsh, Samuel Lawman, Joseph Sadio and Ryan Flanagan.
These boys are excellent. We had a little chat with their coach, didn't we, earlier. They literally train on their own. They don't even, we spoke to the coach, but he said that these guys don't have a coach, which was kind of strange. They don't have a coach. They train a few times a week. One of them in the relay yesterday finished work at 5 o'clock and rocked over to swim in the relay, and
they smashed it.
And they smashed it as well, yeah. So a big shout out to Leeds. Well done. Well-deserved medal.
Plymouth Leander picking up their medals here. This is Eduardo Valsecchi, Freddie Clampett, Reed Jones and Adam Davis. Reed Jones, I think, just about getting over the ignominy of getting disqualified in that Plymouth Leander team in the Challenge 68 Heat 1. He's supposed to swim breaststroke. Sure, his teammates won't let him forget about that for a little while.
And I won't either.
And here come the Bangor lads. This is Curtis Coulter, Jack McMillan, Jordan Sloan and David Thompson. A really, really good squad of 4, and they were very, very impressive, because when we'll run you through the national champions, obviously Loughborough University, it's a very, very impressive lineup. James Oxborough, Miles McKenzie, Kevin Wallbank and Brian O'Sullivan. It's not an easy team to beat, and the guys over the Irish Sea, well, they did a pretty good job of it.
Pretty good job indeed. They came over here with these targets and they delivered. They can go back to Bangor with their heads held extremely high and really enjoy Christmas now. It does mean a lot to come here and pick up gold medals like that. It really does mean a lot. They can go back home over Christmas with their heads held high, feeling great, really relaxed over Christmas and New Year, and very, very proud of themselves.
We end with the flames, with that medal ceremony, which is lovely to see. And ladies and gentlemen, we've had such a wonderful competition here. James, just before we leave Ponds Forge for this competition, indeed for the year, until we're back for the trials next year, what's been your highlight of this meet? That's a very difficult question to ask, I know, but there's been so many. But what's been your personal highlight?
I mean, Kayla Sanchez has got to be up there as our foreign superstar. 4 world junior records. Unbelievable, like just on fire, hitting it after smashing it. And she's been sensational. The juniors have been fantastic. This I always try and keep my eye on the juniors because it's like a nostalgic feeling for me to remember swimming in this iconic venue, coming here, trying to compete against the seniors, trying to break junior records and all that sort of stuff. And they have been sensational. It's been a real pleasure watching the juniors.
Yeah, fantastic stuff. Thanks for joining us ever so much, James, over the course of this weekend. Been a pleasure to have you with us, and I know you've enjoyed it so much as well.
Thanks,
ladies and gents, that will do us for winter for 2018 on the swimming scene. We hope you've enjoyed the coverage of the Swim England National Winter Championships. I know we certainly have in the studio, and we hope you have at home as well. From myself, from James, from Jonathan, from all the production team here at Ponds Forge, we will see you in the new year. Have a wonderful Christmas and a very good evening.
Merry Christmas.